Yo, what's happening, y'all? This is B Jizzle of the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Welcome to the number one LA Clipper podcast out there. We want to first give you guys a shout out, LA Clipper fan, LA Clipper Nations, for being here. Share this podcast with your family and friends. They will not be disappointed, but let's get it popping.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers to throw away. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Flossing that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now. But you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in the few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
Nothing. No. On the ground, you. But I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all. Not at all. You. But my money ring, that you do. Oh, yeah. So I don't do this shit for nothing.
Rolling up some good, pulling up till we get faded. You know how we do it. Everybody take a flex on me. I got the keys to the city. I don't need no limousine. I turn up when I pull up. And tell my booking agent book a show. Running around with the paper bag. Running around with the paper bag. Going crazy spending all this cash. Going crazy spending all this cash. If I spend it, I'ma get it back. Even when I ride around dirty, a nigga don't need a seatbelt. A nigga don't need a seatbelt. Nah, it don't cost to keep it real. Run up, get done up. Shit can get real. Fuck around and get your ass rocked. Nigga, fuck around and take your shit. Got you asking God why. Drag your ass into an alley. Pull out aim for the target. Should've never been around the killers. In my town, we the fucking realest. No cheddar bars round here. I get the spray and they gon' get down. Ski mask over my face. Catch a body in broad day. Catch a body in broad day.
I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Shadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me. Y'all ain't got nothing like this over there. Bunch of frontline millionaires. Bunch of self-made at the Trump pay. Guess the odds really took it there. Any problem, I'ma reappear. With a squad you already fear. All this time I've been playing fair. 7 digits every single year. Niggas die, niggas disappear. Alibis, I was really there. Life a crime till I get the chair. Columbine in my trigger hair. Still I rise and I took the stairs. Feel a fire, it's a different glare. All these fights, it was never fair. Busting knuckles, still I'm swinging fears. Taste the salt inside my dripping tears. You should know I never had a fear. You should know I never had a shot, never had a chance till I took it here. Man, it's proud, but I see it clear. Strategize, I'm an engineer. Pick a side, gotta keep it there. Switching up, nigga, looking weird. I got the key to the city. I got a hold of Shadiddy. Talk to that bitch in Swahili. Tattoo my name in graffiti. Whack out your hood in graffiti. Come through your hood on the weekly. None of y'all niggas can't see me. None of y'all niggas can't see me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, a.k.a. B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button as y'all come in here. Share, subscribe as well. Hit that CASHAPP, $ BJ Matthews, $ BJ Matthews for all this great content. If you guys have not already, make sure you guys donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. As well as if you guys have anything, the super sticker and super comments you guys want to drop, go ahead and do that by also, hitting that button below that says thanks. And you guys can go ahead and drop a super comment if you guys see fit based on how y'all enjoy the show. And last but not least, get your membership badges that are available. We have 3 different options: the pull-up badge, the LA Clipper badge, and the interview badge. We have all 3 different options available for y'all taking. And if you guys want to continue to support the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, you guys can do that in those type of ways. And I will put all the people that have membership badges right there on the screen. But let's get it popping. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the comment section real quick. Shout everybody out before I get going. We got 40 people. We should have over 40 likes up in here. So let me go to my first comment. The realist said, salute BJ in chat. BJ, you know, I don't normally do the coach blaming game, but this one was Lou. What shouldn't have been on the bench in the fourth. All right, we're going to talk about that. Salute to Lockbox Entertainment. He said, so Luka plays defense. BJ showed that stat when Luka was primary defender last night. Oh, I'm gonna talk about Luka's defense out the gate as well. Rowell, Mavs in 5. Let's see. 176 says the realist. Yeah, this is the first time I'm gonna have to agree with Thomas on the coaching thing too. Okay, so go on and follow my man Andre76 on his podcast as well. He's a content creator for the Philadelphia 76ers. Go on and follow him and his analysis as well. He has great work over there. Jermaine, salute to you. He said that was crazy seeing Luka lock up Kawhi and PG last night. We're gonna talk about that. Davo said he did because of rust. Clips will definitely look better next game. Mavs at home. Sorry though. So they'll show out too. All right, appreciate you. Time out with Mr. Moz. He said, hope everybody's doing well. Salute, fellas. How you doing, Maz? Eloquence is key. Salute. He said we will sweep the Mavs, beat the rest of the games for the rest of the Mavs. Let me go to a few others. Cam the Hooper. Salute, fellas. How you doing, bro? Let's see. Chase said, I feel like Luka looked good on defense all of a sudden because we played like we did in the beginning of the season. We would force the offense out of Harden, PG, and Kawhi. Jay said, before the game, I said Kawhi should have came off the bench with war guys in game 1, and Lou would have to worry about Kawhi's minutes or a possible need plan if Kawhi struggle was needed. Okay. Salute to Q Rich. Salute to BJ and the Pull-Up family. What's good? What's good? Cam, salute, man. Said salute, fellas. Deuce Time said his team can't be as if that was their best shot. All right. Let me get into this all right now. How you doing, sweetheart, Miss Cloud? How you doing, Mercedes? Hey, hey BJ, how you doing? Little Rock was good. Salute, BJ. All right, so let's get into it, man. We got 56 people. Let's get these likes up. So we're going to talk about a number of things. We're going to talk about, of course, the game last night in the attendance. First off, the game was magnificent last night as far as the atmosphere in the crowd. Very, 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 very good last night. I enjoyed the game. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into what happened last night. Go through the statistics real quick, and then I'm going to go into my analysis and go into a few interviews, and then we're going to talk about it. So the Mavericks were able to tie the series up 1-1 winning LA over the Clippers in game 2, 96-93. Another low-scoring game, kind of weird, kind of, offense was, lagging, from one or both the teams. I just thought the Clippers and the Mavericks had a really, really off game, especially in that first half last night. So if we go into the statistics, field goal percentage shooting 42-36 went to the Mavericks. 14-33 out of 8-30 went to the Mavericks. 42% from the 3, 26% for the Clippers went to the Mavericks. The free throw percentage went to us 80-66. Rebound went to them 50-47. Offensive rebounds 11-14 to 39-33. Assists 17-18. Steals 8-9. Blocks 7-4. Total turnovers 17 or 14-9. Largest lead 9-6. Went to the Mavericks. So the Mavericks, for the most part, had more of the better statistics last night, as far as the most important stats. but it wasn't really much the statistics that really were in their favor as much as the timing they actually did it. The shots they made, the rebounds they got, the second chance opportunities really went to the Mavericks at the right time, right? So that's kind of what we're dealing with the Mavericks last night. So that's the number one thing. Number two, we can go into the box score as well and kind of, talk a little bit about that and see what actually the players were actually doing individually. So let me look into this real quick. Let's go with the Clippers first, and then we're going to the Mavericks after. And as y'all come here, smash that like button. As I look at the statistics, excuse me, y'all. I'm just trying to get back into the flow of things. The offense, like I said, was not very good last night. As far as the points, I thought that we kind of, were a little bit off, stagnant, not really having guys in their rhythm, things of that nature. It was kind of, affecting us. So as I look at the statistics and I look at the certain things, excuse me. The highest scores were 22 points between Harden and PG. PG shot 7 for 14 from the field, 50%, 40% from the three, and he shot 100% from the line. So 50, 40, 100 again for PG. So he shot the ball well. He had 22 points. You had James Harden, who went 6 for 14, a little under 50%. He was terrible from three-point line. He shot 20% out of 10 shots, 8 for 9 from the free throw, had 8 assists, 22 points. Zubac, 5 for 12 from the field, 13 points and 12 rebounds. Kind of got into foul trouble very early into the game. Terrence Mann did not shoot the ball very well yesterday. But like I said, defensively, he's always going to be impactful. He had 5 points. And then you had Kawhi, who shot 7 for 17 from the field, 15 points. First game back, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Right? And then you guys off the bench, Norman Powell with 6 points, Russ with 7, Mir Coffee with 2. So if you look at the offensive side of the ball, none of our guys really gave efficient shooting outside of really PG and who else? That's it, really. PG's the only one that shot 50% or over from the field. So basically, in a nutshell, we offensively would not shoot the ball well from 2 or 3. When you go to the other side with the Mavericks, you got production as far as, guys who played better, especially from game one. I said in game one, the Mavericks are going to, come out in game two with more energy. And that's exactly what they did. So as we continuously look in, PJ Washington, 18 points, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 5 for 10 from the free throw. So he had a pretty good game offensively and defensively. Derrick Jones Jr. even shot the ball away. He shot 4 for 6 from the field, 10 points, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. Very, very good game from him. Daniel Gafford has pretty much been played off the court. 9 minutes, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 points. He was pretty much played off the court. And they replaced him with Max Kleber. 28 minutes for him, and he had 6 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. So that's kind of an adjustment that Jason Kidd has done. They decided to take Gafford off the court and put it in for, guys like Daniel Max Kleber and Derek Lively. So Derek Lively had 7 points and 9 rebounds. Very, very good game from him as well. Tim Hardaway Jr., another one, been played off the court for Josh Green. 7 rebounds from him, getting a lot of hustle points and a lot of hustle second chance opportunities. So those type of players were not in game one heavily. So if you look at their 2 stars, Luka and Kyrie, both playing over 40 minutes for the first part. And then you got Kyrie having 18 shots to Luka's 26. Kyrie hit 4 out of 8 threes, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 23 points. And then you look at Luka, 5 for 14 from the 3, 11 for 26 from the field, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 9 assists, and 32 points. All right. So kind of a weird game offensively, but defensively, I think both teams basically played their hearts out. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about what I saw last night, and I'm going to go into a few interviews, and then we'll go from there. Let me see. Also, look at some of these comments. Q Rich said PG needs 6 way more shots than 14, especially with how he was. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on with that. You know, Q, I appreciate you putting that out there. Ty was garbage once again. Once I get out this country in North Carolina, I'll be on. This is why I'll never say Clippers sweep. Ty loves offense, way too much clown ass. Probably a couple hours before I get on beaches. All right, we'll be here. We'll be here. So I want to talk a little bit about. First, I want to go through a few interviews last night. So I kind of want y'all to tell me into the comment section, how do y'all feel about this loss? Do y'all feel worried? Do y'all feel not worried? Do y'all feel good? Do y'all feel bad? Do y'all feel how do y'all feel after this loss from the Clippers last night? Right, I'm gonna play some of these different audios and kind of let y'all basically get to it. Disappointed, not worried at all. Salute at Peggy 180. We on the road, yep. Elkins Creed, y'all best is still almost won. So disappointed but not worried at all. Okay. Let me go into some of these videos and I'm gonna kind of let y'all kind of see what I thought. So I want to kind of let y'all hear a few of the guys talk about, you know, last night. So I want to for y'all first see what our best player Kawhi Leonard had to say last night. Because like I said, this is basically a subject about, you know, Kawhi Leonard coming back on the team after being out since March 31st. He has not been able to play for almost a month. So we're going to hear what Kawhi had to say about last night's loss and how he's feeling and, you know, his, you know, flow of the game and stuff like that. So I want y'all to kind of hear what Kawhi had to say. All right, here we go.
Do you feel anything now coming out of the game?
No, I feel good. I felt pretty good in the game. I was okay.
Hey, Kawhi, this is obviously the first time that you guys are healthy since the NBA bubble. Is there a sense of, you know, whatever happens, since we're finally whole, you know, we'll be able to live or die by this?
Say that again?
You guys are finally healthy for the first time since 2020 in the postseason. Is there a sense of, you know, whatever happens, we'll be able to live with this because at least we're finally able to see who we are?
I mean, I guess, you know, I don't think I think of it like that. You know, I'm just taking it one game at a time, and we're trying to win the series. So, you know, that's not my thought process right now.
Why, just what have the last few weeks been like as you were trying to ramp up to get to this point right now?
I was just trying to make sure I could get into the game and play. That's what my last week's been about, just trying to get back on the floor.
And you've been able to do much in practice heading into today's game?
Not really. You know, I've just been rehabbing, trying to get on the floor. But, you know, we still got more games to play, more time to get better. And, you know, that's what I'm focused on.
So real quick, I want to also put this out there as well. And as y'all come here and smash that like button. First off, I want to give one person particular credit for this because he was absolutely right. And that's Skip Bayless. So obviously Skip Bayless has a connect with Kawhi's camp. Very close to him. I don't know. The only person I can think of it is Uncle Dennis. That's the only person I could think of. Because there's a time I remember when Skip Bayless was talking about on Undisputed that he met Uncle Dennis at a boxing match in Vegas, and he ran into him, and I guess Uncle Dennis said something to him about how this was back when he was, with the Spurs going with Toronto, and Skip Bayless had a axe ground with Kawhi because he left the Spurs, and he kept calling Kawhi number 2. I think y'all remember that name, and Uncle Dennis told him one time, he said, why don't you call him by his real name? So I think that's the connect Skip has, because it's two things you got to think about. One, Kawhi don't allow nobody in like his camp. They don't you don't ever hear no real reporting coming from him or his camp. Somebody said this about him and somebody said that. So, and they're very private. If somebody puts out some false information about Kawhi, saying that they know the source and it comes out as false, then now that's going to be a problem. So Skip is comfortable. Obviously, he's been given the green light to expose certain things that goes on with Kawhi. So, and the only person I'm thinking in my head that will allow Skip to do that and report that type of news is his uncle. Because I remember talking to his uncle, and I flat out told him, he told me that he and Kawhi don't do interviews. Like, he told me that over the phone. They literally don't do any interviews. And the reason why is because they don't want nobody knowing their business. But obviously Skip he's trustee with them. So I want to give Skip that credit that, it's flowers. From now on, when Skip reports something about Kawhi, I'm automatically going to believe it. Because ain't nobody else is saying this off top. But my thing is, again, if he could have played game one, then if he could play game 2, he could have played game 1. So obviously this was pre-planned with this camp, and the only person that would have had that plan intact would be his uncle. So I just wanted to put that out there. Obviously Skip is, connected with them in that way. So I'll allow, this video to continue.
Hey, Kawhi. First of all, it's good to see you back and everything. And we can see what you do with the ball and what's going on with the offense and everything. How is your comfort level after playing this game through contact and everything from a defensive standpoint? What do you feel like you're able to do, and what do you want to progress in come Friday?
Just keep trying to get a rhythm back, and obviously try to win a basketball game. We got pretty stagnant tonight in that fourth quarter, and I want to just be able to get a rhythm with the team and get a win.
Kawhi, for someone who's been in the playoffs frequently, what does it take to go in a row when your team is 1-1 and you lose home court advantage?
Same thing. We got to be engaged, talking on defense, making sure that we all communicating. We're executing our plays, because now we're playing on their home court. Their fans will be loud, and it just takes a bond of us collectively.
Kawhi, how would you compare and contrast these last 3 weeks for you compared to last regular season, the beginning of the season when you had to go through something similar?
I haven't compared those at all. My focus was trying to get back on the court, tonight, and so I could play, throughout these playoffs. So, when maybe I got to sit back and think about that, but that wasn't one on my mind.
Kawhi, where are you conditioning wise right now?
It's my first game in like 20-something days, but I don't know. I'm not measuring that. We got to be better as a unit overall, and it starts with me. And I gotta, even if my win is low, I gotta find a way.
And given what you weren't able to do, over the last few weeks, how is it that you were able to kind of gauge, okay, I'm ready to play now?
Just being able to get on the floor and, shoot consistent days, able to run. The last few weeks I haven't been on the floor. So last couple of days it felt great and was able to play tonight.
All right, so that's basically Kawhi speaking. As I told y'all, this is more about Kawhi's. The title is did Kawhi mess up the flow of the Clippers playing? So I'm gonna address that. But as y'all can hear with Kawhi and how he's feeling, he's basically saying, echoing a lot of sentiments that has been, spurred around. It's his first game back. Is after 30 days, he has to get in the flow. But he also, one thing I love about Kawhi is he never makes excuses. Even when he said the reporters asked him questions and stuff, he said he still got to find a way. He still got to be able to. He's the leader of this team. He's the best player on it. Like, he understands, like, they go through him. It starts with me. That's the type of person he is. Right. So that's why I say with Kawhi is that I like his responses. So it's really nothing really more to say about, that interview. I mean, Kawhi's basically saying, like, he's fine. He's ready to turn back onto the game, even though they've had to basically allow him to, get back on the court. That's kind of what it is. So that's kind of what the mood of his is. Not really, nothing really worried. He's not really worried. And, he's just basically, you're going to have to, go to game 3 and game 4 and, go into Dallas and do what they need to do. But let's talk about his teammates. Let's see how his teammates feel about him having back. Of course, let's start with the second best player, Paul George. And let's hear what he has to say about, the game last night and how he feel like Kawhi, impacts the game. So I want y'all to kind of hear what PG had to say. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, same as game 1. I thought they're just doing a great job of packing the paint, jumping it up, and physicality is they've definitely been physical, but that's playoff basketball, nothing out of the norm. But they are doing a great job of packing the paint, I would say, and we just got to do a better job, I think, playing a little faster.
What changed for you guys having Kawhi out there?
I mean, it's he's as good as it comes at getting his shots and the type of shots he want to get and creating and generating good looks. And so, it's great to have that back. But there obviously is a little adjustment, him coming back and getting his rhythm, and us playing, while having, our best player back on the floor with us. And so, it's that's all I thought it was. The more we get back together, the time and the rhythm with everybody being back together, get back to where it was.
And Paul, it's been 2 games where in the first half, foul trouble was kind of taking you out of the game. I'm not sure if I want to say out of the rhythm completely, but you had the 2 fouls in the first quarter game 1. You had 3 first half tonight. Like, how's the game being called kind of affecting?
That's our guy Law Murray. If you guys can't recognize his voice, that's Law Murray speaking. So just wanted to put that out there. He's about to ask PG about being in foul trouble in both games. We're going to talk about the refereeing as well. I know a lot of people in the comments talking about that, but we're going to touch every base. But I just want to kind of let y'all hear, the players speak about the game first. All right.
And like how much you can do on both ends, or offense and defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's I feel like it's a setup question. You guys watch the game. I definitely think that there are some calls that could be called that aren't being called. But again, I'm not going to make this about the officiating or calls that haven't been called or calls that are being called of myself. I got to be better of playing the game that's within the game.
Do you feel like you are able to get into the kind of rhythm that you are, even if you got to come out the game over?
I mean, at this point of my career, I'm expecting things not to go my way, and so I don't try to allow that to take me out of my game. And so, you know, they call fouls on me, they don't call fouls for me. I got to just keep playing and try to do as much as I can, and just, you know, just stay positive. You know, just don't let that affect, you know, my performance, and just play through it.
Well, even though you guys lost tonight, and it looks like Kawhi obviously naturally is going to need some time to get his rhythm back. How do you feel moving forward in the series, knowing you have your best player back?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I mean, y'all know this. Kawhi is one of the best in the world. He's gonna find his rhythm. We're gonna find our rhythm around him. You know, we feel good about it. You know, despite, you know, there's no. I don't ever like to take or look at moral victories. We lost, which is frustrating and upsetting, but it is great having two back out there with us, and you know, we'll all adjust. We'll get our timing back, our rhythm back, and get a better flow.
All right, so that's PG speaking about last night. Y'all come here and smash that like button. 92 people. We should have over 90 likes. I'm just basically going through, you know, player by player, piece by piece, allowing y'all to actually hear what a lot of these guys are saying. And like I said, a lot of stuff I'm actually doing with y'all, I'm trying to really allow y'all to actually hear what the players and the people who are close in the action are saying. Because it's one thing for us as people who are not on the court to have our own predictions and our own things, which is great. But we got to actually look at the players who are actually playing the game and how their emotions are, how their words are. Because I think that will help everyone actually understand, you know, how these players are thinking, what they're thinking in their head. So that was PG speaking about last night. Another one, he seemed very calm. Just like Kawhi seemed very calm. You didn't really hear no anxiety. You didn't really hear no anxiousness. You didn't really hear no, we don't know how we're going to start. Like, basically, it just came off as, you know, hey, we lost. We got to, you know, regroup. Spoke about Kawhi coming back on the team and them having to, you know, integrate him into the system. So, you know, they obviously came with a very, very calm approach. We got to go in Dallas and win, and win in their place in their hostile environment. So that's kind of what it came down to. So both of them seem very, very, you know what I'm saying, I guess you could say just chill and relax. So that was those two. I want to give y'all one more, and then I'm actually going to the Mavericks and talk a little bit about them because they did win yesterday. I want to talk a little bit about the Mavericks and you know, kind of see what y'all have to say. Now, this is going to be our head coach, Ty Lue. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about Ty Lue. I know a lot of people in the comment section are talking about Ty Lue. So I want y'all to kind of hear what his focus is and what his mindset is. So here we go.
Tonight's game was about their defense and physicality, or you guys just missing shots, or a combination of all those things?
Our defense was great. You know, I thought we did a good job, you know, defensively. I mean, holding this team at 96 points, like, you can't ask for anything better, you know. So just offensively being better, you know, playing with more pace, getting to the paint a little bit more. We missed a lot of shots, you know, but as far as, you know, what we did defensively, I mean, I take that, you know, every day of the week. You know, Luka made some tough shots. Kyrie made some tough shots, which we talked about before the series. They're going to be able to do that. But overall, to hold this team at 96 points, that's a really great defensive night. And so we just got to do a better job scoring the basketball.
Tilu, obviously Kawhi got a pretty good minutes workload. Looked like he did a lot more in the second half than the first half. How do you think he felt just from what you've seen and how you were talking to him?
Probably just his timing. I thought in the second half, that third quarter, he really got active, a couple offensive rebounds, putbacks to kind of get him going. As far as getting the rhythm, as far as his plays and getting his shots and things like that, that's going to come. But I thought defensively he did some good things, some steals, some deflections. And, it was just good to have him back on the floor. And so we'll be able to make it work.
Ty, was there any difficulty of kind of like incorporating him back? And also, what do you think about his conditioning and his legs?
You had to ask him that, but I thought he did a good job. I thought he didn't try to force anything in that first half. I thought he just let the game come to him. And then in the third quarter, I think we got down 9, and he kind of just took over the game as far as scoring the basketball, offensive rebounds, steals, and things like that. And so if we play that hard, like I said, we're in great shape. And so, they came in and won a game, which we didn't play our best. And so we'll be ready to go to Dallas. We'll be ready on Friday.
Coach, when it came to the three-point shooting, you guys were 8 for 30. What were those some shots that you liked, the threes that you guys were just missing? Or
Yeah, Justin, he jinxed us the other day, in the media. He tried to ask that question, you're going to be able to keep it up. And then, of course, tonight, we don't shoot the ball as well. But like I said, that's part of the game, but we're going to make shots. We know that. We've been a shot-making team since I've been here. And with our defense, the way it is right now, showing those guys different coverages, different looks. We won in every category except for the game, So, that's good. That's good because we're going to be able to score the basketball. But the most important thing is defensively, understand what we're doing. And we just had a lot of mistakes, rotations. We wasn't in sync. Late, Kyrie got a couple shots, Luka got a couple shots, Cleaver got a shot, PJ Washington a few shots. And so just late with our rotations and, some game plan mistakes, which we can clean up. And once we do that, it's going to be really tough for those guys to score.
And do you think they tried to attack Zoo early since they saw him perform, so well the last game that they wanted to?
No, I think Zoo just got caught the wrong place at the wrong time, getting beat. We run Jones Jr. off the line, and he gets to the basket. Zoo gets his second foul. Kind of changed the game for us early on. But Mace came in, with his energy and effort and just, held it down till Zoo was able to get back in the game. So we just got to be smarter. Zoo just, in that situation, probably get out of the way, give it to him. And, next time we'd be ready to set our defense. But, overall, like I said, with Zoo having those first early 2 fouls kind of changed the game for us.
All right, so that's pretty much what we want to say about that. Ty Lue speaking about how he felt last night. So pretty much the kind of same feeling. It's a calm feeling. They're basically more. I'm getting more so they're happy that Kawhi is on the court. The biggest thing with the Clippers have always been their health. So when you talk about their 2 best players not being on the court together healthy since the bubble and finishing a whole playoff series, that's 4 years of them not being able to, actually have a chance. Y'all got to remember a lot of these players, it's an emotional game. So when you constantly see them put the grind and the work in throughout the regular season and then unexpected circumstances happen, such as their players can't even compete in the postseason, and then you finally get a opportunity for them to be on the court together, that speaks more volumes than actually having, them talk about, we lost this, we lost that. They're more so happy Kawhi's just, healthy. So that's why I think Ty Lue is actually coming from me saying, I feel very, very happy, very good that, Kawhi's at least on the court. On top of that, they genuinely they don't feel concerned. They don't feel worried. So we're going to get into that. But I want to first talk about the Mavericks. Now, I'm going to do something that a lot of these clown-ass reporters, analysts, and other content creators who support their teams don't do. And that's not give credit to the team that actually won. See, I had a problem with when we whooped the Mavs ass on Sunday, them and ESPN and First Take talking about the Mavs adjustments instead of giving the Clippers credit. I had a huge problem with that. So I'm going to hold up to my word and actually give the Mavericks credit and what they did. And I saw the adjustments that were made by the Mavericks So we're going to talk about it. So Jason Kidd, obviously, I told you at the beginning of the series is going to make sure this Mavericks team was going to be very competitive. I said to them, the Mavericks, I don't believe they can beat the Clippers. I think the Clippers can beat them in 5 games. And I'm still keeping that pick. But I said there's one key reason why I think the Mavericks are at this advantage. That's because they're experienced. So who you guys are looking at on the screen is one of the top point guards of all time. He's one of the best, brilliant minds on the court of all time. They're going to have a battle when this man's coaching, because I know the type of player he has. He played as a player. He's taking that same as the coach. A lot of people make fun of Jason Kidd because of his coaching record, being fired from Milwaukee and being fired from Brooklyn. Not understanding that even though they were not successful, he still turned the Milwaukee organization around with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was responsible before Mike Budenholzer took charge. So at the end of the day, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Y'all had to call. But I knew Jason Kidd was going to have a young team like this fired up and ready to go. I knew game 2, the Mavericks were going to come out with a more intense personality because they're not going to. Jason Kidd does not allow softness in his locker room. So I knew that was going to come. The Mavericks automatically came in and had a game plan. The first game plan was to get Zubac off the court quick, fast, in a hurry. Zubac obviously was dominant in that first game. He made Gafford look very, very small. He could not deal with him in one-on-one situations. So what they tried to do was get Zubac out the game early. Zubac picks 2 early fouls up in the first, I think, 3-4 minutes. That automatically changed the Clippers' game plan. And Ty Lue said that. Now Zubac made 2 dumb fouls, one on Kyrie and one on Derrick Jones Jr. back-to-back, which put the team in a bad situation. Because the Mavericks have literally nobody for Zubac. Now, Gafford played 9 minutes yesterday. So this was an adjustment that Jason Kidd said. We're going to take Gafford off the court. We're going to use Max Kleber and Derek Lively, 2 more athletic bigs, longer, taller, who can actually try to make it a little bit difficult for Zubac. So that was Kidd's adjustment. We have to be able to notify Zubac. The second adjustment I also seen was James Harden. I told you at the beginning of the series that Luka and Kyrie are going to play defense. I don't know if y'all caught this, but Kyrie at the very start of the game tried to get physical with James Harden. And I told y'all the game, after I said there was 2 things I did not like: the over dribbling that James Harden and PG were doing. Yes, it looks good. Yes, this, what I'm saying, when they're scoring the basketball. When they're not scoring the basketball, it looks very bad. It looks like, the offense is stagnant. It looks like they're, having bad shooting nights. It just looks bad. It just looks messy. So the matchups consist of, you had Kyrie on Harden, you had Derrick Jones on PG, you had PJ Washington on Kawhi, you had Gafford starting off on, Zubac, and you had Luka on Terrence Mann. That's how the matchup started off. So Kyrie on Harden, which is what I originally thought, means that Kyrie's got to play defense on the court. So offensively, Kyrie is very average yesterday. He had 23 points. He shot 8 for 18 from the field. He had 3-point shots in the second half, big 3-point shots. And he played 42 minutes. So Kyrie had to really, tone in on the offensive end. I thought that he got very physical with James Harden. He kept jawing with James Harden, trying to, make it more of a mano-a-mano type of thing. And I thought James Harden kind of fell for it. So as I've told y'all in the season, I said James Harden is not the first or second option. He's the third option. He is not the first or second option. He needs to understand, yes, when you scoring the ball like you did in game one, it's because Kawhi wasn't on the court. But as soon as Kawhi gets back on that court, you're no longer the second option. You're the third option. I understand the open 3-point shots that you make and stuff. That's fine. Which he went 2 for 10 from the 3 yesterday. Them step back threes and then, over dribbling the basketball, that takes away from the team. And it puts us in a position where we have to try to stick it out with the Mavericks. So James Harden going 2 for 10, and wasn't your night to shoot 14 shots. And not only that, you were also bad on defense. You didn't rotate. You allow offensive rebounds by the Mavericks, especially in the clutch moments. See, I don't think people talk. James Harden, I'm not even talking about the offense, the defense, and the attention to detail. James Harden was not locked in on the defensive end at all. And as I told y'all before, when Harden has a mediocre game, or when Zubac's not in the game, that means Harden's going to suffer, because a lot of his pick and roll actions with Zubac depend on his offensive ability. But because Zubac he got off the court so early, it still was it kind of affected Harden. Now it's still in all, Zubac still had a double-double. He had 13 points and 12 rebounds. So like I said, Zubac is not going to get play off the court. The Mavericks are not going to be able to play him off the court. You know what I'm saying? So that's a positive sign, but I'm going to stick with the Mavericks giving them credit. They attacked Zubac very early, and they tried to get him off the court. Jason Kidd understands how valuable Zubac is. The Mavericks did that. That was their game plan starting off. Then you talk about the scoring aspect and on defense. I said Luka cannot get past Harden. And he can't. A lot of the shots Luka made, he made tough shots yesterday. Step back threes that he wasn't making in game one. And they were in the perfect timing as well. Luka made, I think there was a play that he made a 3-point step back when the score was tied at 74 in the fourth quarter. And Luka made a tough step back shot, and it was 77-74. So, and most of the times, Harden was the one getting scored on by Luka. So, I thought Harden both ways of the basketball kind of hurt the Clippers. Even though he had 22 points, I think the moments he had is bad moments as far as, letting offensive rebounds go and not scoring the ball. I think that's what hurt him. And not rotating on defense. As y'all come in and smash that like button. So, let me talk about another adjustment Dallas did. Dallas made it a very, very physical game. I told y'all the Clippers didn't beat the Mavericks by their skill set. They beat them by their physicality, excuse me, and their mental. All guys bought into the defensive scheme. All guys. Certain guys didn't play much. PJ Washington didn't play. Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't play much. Certain guys were off the court that were on the court game one. Jason Kidd said, we're going to go with defense. We're going to play defense. We're going to make it dirty. We're going to try to be physical with these guys. So for that, I need to have those guys on the court. I don't need offense. I need defense. That's what Jason Kidd did in game two. He decided to go with defense. That's why the score was so low. That's why the score was low, because the defense, the Mavericks put defensive personnel on the court. PJ Washington, Josh Green, Derek Jones Jr. played heavy minutes. Derek Lively, Max Kleber, hit a couple threes. You know, and then Kyrie and Luka, who I'm gonna talk about in a minute, they played, they committed to the defensive end. So basically, at the end of the day, that's really what happened. They all bought into the defensive end. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something else because everybody wants to kind of, you know, speak about it. The Luka guarding and shutting down Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden. So that's the biggest biggest crux. Let me be the first to say it. I said coming into this series that y'all thinking Luka Doncic is LeBron James, and he's not. Why do I mean? What I mean by that is that, yes, you have a guy who can score, but he has to go on the other side and defend, and Luka's never been that type of player to do that against top players. Obviously, he took in that and made it where, you know, he has to understand he has to be able to defend. So Luka last night and watching the game in person put the effort in on defense to guard. He was trying to guard Kawhi, trying to guard PG, trying to guard Harden. He took that initiative last night. So I want y'all to kind of, you know, understand. So really, offensively, he was inefficient. Like I said, he still, like I told y'all, he still does not shoot the ball and score the ball. That's the third time in a row he has not scored the ball well against us. You guys do know when he was playing us a few years ago, this man was scoring 40-point performances against us. Shit, 40-point performances. Now his performances have dropped to 25, 28, 32, and it's not because of just Kyrie being on the team. It's because of the personnel that we have makes it a lot harder for him to score the ball. So I'm not even looking at his offense, but he took the initiative defensively to try and dominate and try to take that initiative. So I want y'all to kind of see what you know, the Luka Doncic locked up the Clippers. Okay. So these are the four players right here. You had Harden, you had Terrence Mann, now Norman Powell, Kawhi, Plumlee, Amir Coffey, Zubac. Luka Doncic has the prime defender, game 2 versus the Clippers. These are the guys right here. So Harden scored a point or scored 3 points. Terrence Mann scored 0. Norman Powell scored 0. Kawhi scored 0. I don't know where Paul George is, but I'm looking at it. And I'm like, okay. I said Luka played and committed to his defensive end last night. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is the shot. This is the amount of shots they all took. So if we look at the highlights and stuff like that, let's look and see how that has transpired. So Kawhi and Luka one-on-one. Kawhi has him on the ISO on the right here. Max Kleber, second line of defense. PJ Washington. Here comes Luka right there. Luka, good contest. Good contest by Luka right there. Paul George, top of the key. Another play right here. Paul George gets Luka off of him right there with the elbow. So the schematic scheme on defense is now we're going to help. And this is what Jason Kidd did. And y'all can see Jason Kidd right there on the sideline, like he's playing. You got Norman Powell being guarded by Kyrie. You got PJ Washington guarded by Kawhi, guarded by PJ Washington. Derrick Jones guarded by Harden, and you got Luka on PG. You have Max Kleber on Russ. Now, their defensive schematic is right here. Is they want to have Max Kleber cheat off of Westbrook to help Luka. Y'all can see he's not fully guarding Westbrook. He's not nowhere near close to him. You guys can see all the other guys. They're close to their man because they can shoot the three. So if you leave them open, then they can, knock it down. Westbrook, they're more comfortable leaving them open, which I'm gonna talk about. There's a dilemma that Coach Lu's gonna have to make with this but this comes down to this basically knocking down shots and spacing. So because Luka is primary defender on PG sees Max Kleber right there ready to help. That's what's kind of making him think about, how he should be able to, beat Luka off the dribble. Let's continue though. He has the ball in an ISO situation in the half court. So at this point, he's getting ready to make his move. Step back three, misses it. But because he doesn't drive, because simply he sees Max Kleber right there, second line of defense. So that's considered a primary defensive stop by Luka Doncic. That's considered a primary defensive stop. So those are two players right there where the second line of defense is getting ready to help for Luka. As y'all come in and smash that like button. Here comes Westbrook. Like I told y'all before, Luka will get targeted by certain guys. Here comes Westbrook. And Luka, I think, is going to make a defensive play right here on James Harden. Close out. And I think Harden missed this three right here, if I'm not mistaken. So all these different things I'm showing y'all are parts where Luka Doncic was the primary defender. He stopped these guys. So he closed out. Like I said, Harden was 2 for 10 from the three-point line. Just absolutely horrible. Right? Kawhi catches the ball in the mid-post, as y'all can see. Now, this right here was a great defensive play by Luka. It showed his ability to help and actually block on the backside. This is another problem that happened, too. When you took Zubac off the court, you got Mason Plumlee in the game, who early in the game, the momentum was in Dallas's favor. I think Luka had 7 points in the first few minutes of the first quarter. So the momentum changes when you have Zubac out the game. So that really fell into the Mavericks' hands, getting them out the game. But this right here was a great help side recovery by Luka with the block. That shows commitment that he wants to play defense. So that was probably his best defensive play so far. I'm gonna show a couple more, or I'm thinking that's the last one. I think. So, reason why I'm putting that up there and I'm putting this up here is those were the stops that Luka made on so-called Kawhi, so-called, PG, and so-called Harden. So what I'm trying to say is that that's really what y'all want me to admit, that Luka Doncic stopped these. See, and it's still some of y'all still mad that I even put that up there. I had somebody told me, BJ showed me this. I'm showing y'all the statistics. He shot over. Kawhi shot 0 for 2. PG shot 0 for 2. Harden shot 0 for 2. or 1 for 5. He had a nice block on Mason Plumlee as well. Luka Doncic last night committed to the defensive end, and he actually played winning basketball. He's played winning basketball last night. That game right there was the most he played. That game Luka Doncic had last night, he played winning basketball. He didn't care about his stats. He didn't care about his numbers. He cared about winning that damn game. Now, with that being said, now that I've given him credit and give the Mavericks credit, I'm going to talk about basically the Clippers adjustments. So let me get on some guys. First of all, let's get on Ty Lue. Okay. Ty Lue, I gave Ty Lue credit for game 1. And now I'm going to actually give him the criticism he deserves for game 2. All right. So, like I told y'all, Jason Kidd decided to go with defense over offense. That's what happened. Ty Lue, on the other hand, decided to go offense over defense, overplaying guys like Norman Powell and underplaying guys like Terrence Mann. Listen, Terrence Mann in game 1 had 39 minutes. Y'all know how many minutes he had last night? Y'all know how many minutes Terrence Mann had last night? He had 21 minutes on the court. It's very, very easy to see that a team like this against Dallas, we have to stop. And when you tried out Norman Powell, who I love Norman Powell, shout out to SD, shout out to San Diego, shout out to Southeast, shout out to my city, shout out to my neighborhood, shout out to Norm. But he has not been shooting the ball well. I think what's happening with Ty Lue's mind is he's at a crosshairs between trying to decide on putting and going in with Norman Powell or Westbrook instead of putting defense on the court with Terrence Mann and Amir Coffey. Y'all saw the defense last night or on game 1. Y'all focus on Kawhi not being out, but also you got to be actually honest and say, well, the starting lineup in game 1 consists of Harden, T-Man, Coffey, PG, Zubac. They all played heavy minutes, and they all made stops down the game. And that was a defensive game. We didn't just see that against the Mavericks in game. We saw that against the Suns. The lineup consists of, it was Westbrook, T-Man, Coffey, PG, and Zubac. And you saw the start that we had. We put defense on the court. When we play defense, we get stops. It energizes our offense. You can get offensive points through transition and fast breaks. You don't have to set up the offense and statically try to score the ball. So, if y'all can see right here on the screen in game 1, Luka Doncic when Terrence Mann, y'all want to talk about being guarded by when Terrence Mann guarded Luka Doncic in game 1 in 5 minutes and 36 seconds, Luka Doncic scored 6 points, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. I'm going to say that again. In game 1, when Terrence Mann was the primary defender, he shot 2 for 9 from the field, 22%, and 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Guys, Luka Doncic has not been good offensively the first 2 games, regardless of what people want to say. And it's like I've told y'all before, and this is the 3rd time this didn't happen. I've told y'all before, Luka Doncic, when we have the personnel that we have, Luka Doncic ain't going off on our defense like that, and we don't have to double. We don't have to double anymore. Luka Doncic is not going off on our defense like that anymore. I continuously put it on the screen. Last night he went 11 for 26 from the field, and I think what did he go from the 3-point line yesterday? What did Luka Doncic go from the 3-point line? I got it right here. He went 5 for 14 from the 3-point line yesterday. So he's not going off. He's not having 30, 45. He's not having 45-point game performances anymore because of the personnel that we have. But when you trot out Norman Powell, when you trot out, and James Harden's not playing defense the way he needs to be playing, these are the guys that he's usually cooking. But Ty Lue decided to go with offense. He decided to overplay Norman Powell and underplay Terrence Mann. You don't need to double Luka. You don't need to do none of that. Just allow these guys to play straight up and allow them to, have an intricate on the game. So Ty Lue has to do a better job with the rotations. And another thing too, another problem that we have to also correct. Like I said with James Harden, bro, you're not the second option anymore. You had a great game in game one. We've had plenty of splashes on the court for our team. But when you take the ball from PG and take the ball from him getting his shots, I told y'all you park PG in the corner and you just basically make him get bored and he's having to take a lot of catch and shoots. The offense needs to be allowed with PG and Kawhi. Zubac wasn't in the game much in the first quarter. You need to switch it up and let PG bring the ball up sometimes. But you let Harden bring it up the ball every goddamn time. It's making it stagnant. It looks good when he's scoring the ball, but when he's not scoring, it looks very bad. The offense looks shitty. So my point is James Harden needs to start making sure that his other guys get fed. I think last night he got into a little back and forth with Kyrie. His emotion got the best of him. And I also think that he just felt like in game one, he could do it again in game two. Well, the Mavericks came out with a different game plan. But like I said, Kawhi's just coming back, but PG needs to be getting 20, 25 shots. 14 shots is not enough shots for him. So Harden needs to start, like I said, man, like you're one of the best point guards of in this era. Basically being a point guard, knowing when to score, knowing when to pass. The 3-point shots he missed yesterday, the wide open ones, I don't really think that's not going to be a problem as the series goes on. But again, we have to make sure that Harden, understands, like, you have to make sure PG eats. That's just what it has to be. I felt PG was out of rhythm yesterday. I think he was trying to get himself into rhythm. I thought defensively he was solid. So again, that was just basically, again, if you think, Harden has to basically, share the ball with PG more. That's pretty much point blank period. But let's talk about the number one thing before I let y'all in, Kawhi. So the question is, did Kawhi's presence mess up the, concept of the team? Personally, I'm going to say this. I told you, and I'm going to be honest with what I said. I said, if the Mavericks can't beat the Clippers with Kawhi, unless they can be in without him. So now that the Mavericks won against Kawhi, that pretty much me having to say, like, okay, they beat the Mavericks found a way to beat them. Right. There's a reason why I said in 5, though. I said the Mavericks will get a game. The Clippers this is not going to be a sweep. But this is not going to be a 7-game series either. A couple reasons why. Now, last night, I saw a Maverick fan say this on Twitter as the game was going on. I was checking my Twitter. He wasn't confident with the Mavericks being up by only 4 points. As bad as, the Clippers were playing, as bad as how they were shooting the basketball. So I knew the Clippers were just basically offensively just shot. So at our worst and us losing by 3 points, I feel very, very good. But it doesn't mean I'm not annoyed by what happened last night. At the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard, we're going to need him to win a championship. That's what it's going to be. I even believe if you don't have Kawhi on the court now, it doesn't take us. We can still beat the Mavericks, but it would be that much harder. Where a point would probably be 7 games, only because of the star power that the Mavericks have being full strength. It could be 7 games. But if you put Kawhi in there, that shuts all of that off. A in rhythm Kawhi. So as far as last night in that first half, Kawhi obviously was out of sync. The second half, he started to come up and come more alive. He started being more active on defense. He started being able to, find his spots, second chance opportunities. So he was more into sync. Now, 3-point line, he wasn't shooting the ball. Well, I think he went 0 for 5. But at some point, you're going to have to go through the growing pains of bringing your best player back. It's the same thing the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have to deal with when they bring Giannis back. You're going to have to bring in your best player back on the court. So, no, I don't think Kawhi still now was – if he's able to play, let him play. At some point, he's going to have to be on the court anyway. As far as the offensive side of the ball, yes, I think he did because a couple things. When you're force-feeding him the basketball and making him having to be the number one option out the gate and he's not in sync, that does go into him messing up the flow. I thought PG should have shot the ball more. I thought, you got other guys on the team that can get more shots up as well and into a committee and let Kawhi just play defense. That would have been my game plan. Let Kawhi be the defender. Let the offensive load be on those guys. Put PG Harden, those guys. Let the offense be on those guys, and let Kawhi just make stops on Luka. But that's just the growing pains you have to go through. But games 3 and 4, back in Dallas, were my thoughts. The Clippers will be ready to go. Surprisingly, they're a better road team than home team. Whatever reason, they love playing on the road. They go on the road and they just turn into another team. I know Kawhi Leonard. I know his mentality. He feels like the burden is on him. You heard the post-game press conference last night by him. He understands people talking about him getting shut down, quote unquote, by Luka Doncic. He's going to come out game 3 on a mission. So I expect him to come out very, very clutch, either early or late in the game. And I expect everybody else to follow suit and everybody fall into line. But they have got to understand that the two best players, they need their shots. And that's these two right here. They need their shots. Zubac needs his shots. He needs his touches. And he needs to be on that goddamn court. Like, the referees need to understand, if you're gonna let these guys be physical, let them be physical. At the end of the day, let them be physical. Game 1 was very, very physical. So let this series be like what it is. If you're gonna let these guys play, let them play. But all in all, man, I woke up actually in a pretty good mood. I mean, of course, we lost the game, but I just felt like, again, like we have so many counters for them, adjustments that we're going to have in games 3 and 4, which I'm very excited about. So that pretty much takes care of all that. I'm going to go and drop this link. I'll let y'all come in. We're going to take a little 2-minute break. And we'll be right back. What's up? We got Mass in the building. What's good, Mass?
Hey, what's up, fellas, man? Hope you're having a good day, bro. I'm not gonna be long-winded. Let me start by saying this. We knew the Clippers weren't going to shoot the ball that well from game 1 to game 2. I said it. I said it was a hot shooting game. You got guys making threes, Terrence, James, Paul, even Russ shot the 3-ball well in game 1. So we knew the Clippers would come back down to earth, which they did. Defensively, I thought Dallas still missed shots, credit to PJ Washington, Max Kleva hit a couple of big time threes in the fourth quarter. I thought PJ Washington had some easy bunnies that he missed, especially that lob, when they're up 6 and he missed it. But he did redeem himself, 18 points, played well enough. Gafford, you're right. I misjudged Gafford. He looks like the moment's too big for him. So I don't know what's going on with that, but he wants no part of this series. Dumb fouls, dumb plays, not rebounding. And so there's that. Kawhi Leonard, stop shooting threes, stop shooting long twos. The lift's not there. He made a couple of good moves, in his spots close to the basket, but he needs to operate free throw line and below. Him shooting threes and long twos, no, not right now. He looked like he had no explosiveness. He looked like he had no legs. And so the closer he is to the basket, the more comfortable I feel like he'll make shots. I did like his defensive anticipation in the passing lanes. I thought he was great anticipating passing and steals. But you can tell. And here's the thing, because people called me a dumbass and called me, said I don't know basketball. And I said this shit. I said that when Kawhi Leonard comes back, the team is going to have to adjust to him, period. And we saw it last night. The offense was shit poor. It was shit poor, pathetic. You feel me? Nobody doing nothing. James Harden, and props to Bruce, because Bruce said this after game one. When everybody was hyping up James Harden, he said, pipe down. Like, let's see James Harden do this in games 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do it consistently. And we saw last night that James Harden was damn near unplayable at times. His defensive, whatever you want to call it, wasn't there. I thought Russ' defensive pressure was good at times. If Russ is hitting perimeter shots, then Ty can trust him out on the court, because at least Russ is going to be aggressive and try to play hard and get downhill and push that basketball. I don't know what the fuck James Harden's deal was last night. Like, again, I mean, I've been saying this for months. When you need him the most, he's not going to show up. I'm not praising no 1 or 2 or 3 games. I need James to be James Harden when it counts the most in game 6 and 7 if the series goes that long. I thought Paul George was your best player. He was the only player last night that shot 50% from the field. Real quick before you move on, let me get to Dallas real quick, because Dallas needs to get some credit here, right? We talk about adjustments from game 1 and 2. Well, I saw 2 adjustments last night. The main one was they just competed harder on defense, right? Sometimes defense is effort, finding through screens, getting a hand up, like the shit's not rocket science. And what did he do? He went away from Gafford and put in Max or Cleaver, a guy who can stretch the floor and who the Clippers have to account for. And you saw last night in the key possession when you trapped Luka, he shot the ball across the court on the aisle, on the baseline angle, and Cleaver, splashed that shit. And so, if Cleaver can stay on the court and hold his own defensively, then he's going to be more playable, the longer this series goes. And so I thought Dallas's effort last night was just totally different. Listen, this series is far from being over. But I do feel like Dallas has the momentum. They now have home court, right? The next 5 games, Dallas has 3 games in Dallas. And so I think it's going to be an uphill climb to beat Dallas in Dallas. Luka and Kyrie were Luka and Kyrie. And again, I'm not sure why the Clippers choose to trap him at times. Like, you have to give him different looks. And I thought last night defensively, the Clippers at times were too predictable, and they gave Luka, easy passing lanes, and that's where you saw PJ Washington and fucking Cleaver hit those fucking threes. And so, listen, I still think Dallas can play a lot better. I don't think Kyrie played. I thought Kyrie played good last night. I thought he could have been better. I thought there were some possessions where he went too fast, against 2 or 3 guys, turned the ball over. A lot of easy layups missed, in the paint by Dallas. And again, bro, Norman Powell's been, up and down. Terrence is not getting enough minutes, in my opinion. So I do agree with you on that point, BJ. Listen, this is going to be a series of game-to-game adjustments. And it may just come down to, shot making. You know what I'm saying? And I think before the series started, that was one of my main points. I says, Luke and Kyrie are just, I think in the fourth quarter, and that game last night came down to the fourth quarter. Luka and Kyrie, at times were just better shot makers than Paul and Kawhi. Last point, I'll land the plane here on this last point. Bro, it's going to take Kawhi a few more games to get used to the speed, just NBA basketball. I mean, he didn't look bad last night defensively, but I didn't like him offensively whatsoever. I thought guys were standing around. Nobody was cutting. People were waiting on Kawhi. Well, common sense says he ain't played in a goddamn month. And I told y'all motherfuckers, bro, this is NBA basketball. This ain't boxing, right? Kawhi has to get his fucking energy back up, his fucking cardio back up. Just being out there alone is going to be an adjustment. His shot looked flatter than a fucking iron board, right? And so, I mean, no lift, no nothing. Did he look a little hesitant at times? Yeah. You feel me? And so I think mentally he's going to need a few games to kind of get back to himself. And here's my last point, I promise. Even if Kawhi Leonard plays well, and I think Rebrand's on here, Rebrand, even if Kawhi plays well, right? The Clippers need other guys to play well with him, right? It's not enough for just Kawhi to come back and save the fucking day. No, You need Kawhi to play well. You need Paul to play well. And you need James Harden to be fucking something, have a fucking post in the game, right? It's funny how, like with the Clippers, a lot of times one guy plays well, but it can never be like a fucking group effort where you get James, Kawhi, and PG playing well. And so that's what the Clippers are going to need. I expect Zubac to be a lot better in game 3. I thought he was okay, right? I thought he played well. But I do think the Clippers can go to Zubac one-on-one on the block more often because he's a pretty decent low post scorer. But yeah, man, listen, y'all scored 93 points last night, man. And so the offense was shit poor. I thought Dallas's defense was good. I'm not buying into this Luka shit. Listen, sometimes it's a make or miss league, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't think Luka did anything special defensively. I heard the ESPN talking points. I'm not buying it. Listen, defense is about effort and fucking fighting through screens and just showing heart. And so I thought Dallas energy was just better in game 2. That's it. And their guys made shots. Game 1, they weren't making shots. In game 2, their players made shots. And so it's a make or miss fucking league. So I still got Dallas in 6 or 7 games. So we'll see what happens, man. I think the next 2 games are going to be key. It's going to be the world. That crowd in Dallas is going to be rocking. I think Dallas wins game 3. I think they win game 4. I think you guys win game 5 back at home. And then they pack you motherfuckers up and then they send y'all home in game 6, man.
All right, sounds good, Mr. Miles. Got my man Mask with the good take. As y'all come here, smash the like button. We gotta go to rebranding. What's good, rebranding?
Shit, what's good, BJ? And my bad. I came into the video yesterday. I think you did about y'all winning, right? Game 1. And I thought you were just doing a solo video. I ended up watching it back like that. He had the panel up. But I'm gonna focus on. So I'm really not that excited, bro. After last night's win, dog. Like I'm not excited. One, let's go ahead. I think this is gonna be a series of narrative killers for both sides, right? Whereas on the Dallas side, me specifically, I've been hyping up Gafford. I'm like, yo, Gafford. This ain't the series for him, bro. Ma said it, bro. The lights are too bright for dude. And he don't want no smoke with Zubac. You know what I'm saying? Zubac, I don't know why the Clippers got away from that, but Zubac in game 1, he set the tone early. He like, bro, listen, I'm a big dog you down here, and you're not gonna stop me. You're gonna get in foul trouble early, and I'm going to dominate. I like what y'all did as far as the off-ball defense y'all played in game 1. I'm gonna be real with you, like, yeah, that y'all made it tough. Y'all made it tough in game 1. Yeah, y'all definitely made it tough. Great game 1 to y'all. Salute. No excuses. Y'all were without Kawhi. Y'all did what y'all had to do. Salute to that. Game 2, I'm not too happy. I don't really feel happy about this game because one, I already said it. Kawhi Leonard coming back I knew he was gonna throw off the rhythm of what y'all already had going on. Right, you're trying to get him back you're trying to get him back in the rotation. You're trying to get his legs back under him. A few of those shots that fell flat, that fell short, you could tell his legs aren't under him yet. So I wouldn't really make too much of Luka clamping him up. He's still recovering. You know what I'm saying? He's still not all the way there. Let me see. I think okay, so also, yeah, I think the people that are gonna make a difference if they do make it from the Clippers end is gonna be Russ. Russ is a fucking dog. I don't care what nobody says. Say what you want about the nigga play. Maybe he's declined in his skills and his play. But that heart, bro, dude he's one of them. And I actually think he did pretty well guarding Luka. Let me see. Timothy Hardaway Jr. going down, that's gonna be a big hit for us. Early on in the year, I had him as as a 6th man of the year candidate. Um, he went down with a sprained ankle. I think even Gaffer has a back injury. Maxi Kleber coming in, stretching the floor, hitting some big shots. Luka hit some big shots in the 4th. And we still made it too close in the 4th. There was still like moments where y'all could have gotten that game. Paul George hit a 3 at the buzzer, and shit like that. This was not a good game by us. If you are a player that likes defense, if you're a player that like y'all tired of the 150 to 130, this was a good gritty game for you. I do like the adjustments that we made. Um, I'm just not happy, dog. Like I don't, because one, I know that this is not the Kawhi that niggas has been hyping. He's still hurt. I think he came back too early. If I were the Clippers, I would have let him sit out game two because you already had the momentum from game one. So why bring him back early and disrupt that? I would have, depending on what game two and what game three looked like, I would have kept him out a little longer. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't think I'm gonna say this to Mavs fans. This is not something that we need to be excited about. That was not a good win last night. I mean, a win is a win, but it was still too many things that I seen negatively. I'm like, bro, that shit's gonna come back and bite us if we don't correct that against these guys. And that's all I really gotta say, bro. Hold on. Salute to the Clippers organization because they showing us they coming to play. This is gonna be a long fucking series. Mavs in 6, but it's gonna be a long fucking series. And I'm here to cook the Clippers fans. The Clippers, they've been playing. So salute.
All right, so we got Brandon coming in. He got Mavs in 6. Mavs got Mavs in 6. Mavs in 6. We got my man Q. As y'all come here and smash that like button, my man Q, what's good, bro?
Hey, what up, BJ? Salute to you and salute to the panel. Salute to everybody in the chat. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening, bro?
What's going on, bro?
So to answer your question for the video, did Kawhi throw off the rhythm of the game? Honestly, I don't think so. Personally, I think this was a good game that he had. I think he was very passive in the first half. But I think he was aggressive in the he was more aggressive in the second half, shooting the ball, looking for his shots, just being into the game more defensively. But I think he's definitely going to be better next game. I think this was more of like a rhythm game for him, to see how he feels, see what type of shots he can get to fall, you know what I'm saying, see how he moves on the court. So I think honestly he'll be better next game on the road for sure. But overall, he'll be ready. But I like the game yesterday. I'm not really like discouraged as a fan yesterday. I think we had a lot of opportunities to win. Um, I think we felt very I think we fell victim to that switch defense again. I just don't like it. Like we don't try to go through screens. I think we was doing that good in the first half, but in the second half we was giving into those screens very easily with Harden and Harden guarding Luka and Harden guarding Kyrie. We look kind of confused on defense whether we should trap, whether we should have this person play one-on-one. And I think we're gonna have to make better adjustments on just defense as a whole for game 3 and game 4 on the road, especially going into Dallas with the crowd that they have. So overall, it wasn't a bad game. It was a very defensive game on both sides of the court. You know what I'm saying? But we at the same time, like I said, we had opportunities to win. We missed 55 shots. When you miss 55 shots as a team, you sell yourself short in general because shit, you miss 55 shots, that's a lot of points. That's a whole lot of points. So you know what I'm saying? I think with Kawhi coming back, PG should have definitely stayed with that, just he should have just been way more aggressive and assertive with his shots. And I agree with you, BJ, as far as like what you was saying, with James Harden and stuff like that, holding the ball too long and PG getting too settled. But PG also has to demand the ball at times too, because he gets very complacent, like when Kawhi gets on the court. He tends to go back to that number 2 guy, but I think with Kawhi trying to find his rhythm yesterday, he should have stayed at that number 1. You know what I'm saying? Because 14 shots for Paul George, especially shooting over 50%, I think he should have shot at least 20 to 25 shots. So he definitely have to shoot more shots for sure. 14 shots is just not enough for the team. He has to be better with that, and the team has to be overall better just with our shot selections. We missed a lot of shots in transitions and layups. We missed a lot of just threes. You know what I'm saying? We got to be better with our execution also. But I will give the Mavs credit though. They definitely did take Zubac out the game early. Zubac didn't really have a great first half, and I'll give them credit for that because they definitely took away our interior on the offense and defense.
Hey, Q Rich,
So
bro. I'm confused. And I mean, I've heard you talk basketball
Hold on, Max.
before.
Hold on, Max. Hold on. Let me just finish my point real fast.
All right, go ahead, bro.
So, yeah, I think we need more from Paul George. You know what I'm saying? And we did settle for a lot of jump shots. But I think honestly, going on the road, we are one of the best road teams, in the NBA. And I think honestly, I think we're gonna be fine. Honestly, going on the road for Game 3 and Game 4. And yeah, I'm honestly.
Hey, did he cut out?
Yeah, it seemed like you did.
Yeah,
You guys hear me?
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
Yeah, we got you, bro.
All right. And now, but I would just to finish up my point, I would just say honestly, I still feel confident, you know what I'm saying, as a Clipper fan. And I'm gonna stick to my bias, Clippers in 6. We gonna be all right.
So, Q Rich, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But
Yeah.
I'm confused because
Uh-huh.
like you talk basketball and you talk
Yeah.
it very well,
Yeah.
and then you come on today
Uh-huh.
and then you make a statement that is just I'm confused by it.
What
You said that
what's
Kawhi
your
Leonard
statement?
did not throw off their offense. Yes, he did. Like, when have you seen the Clippers' offense look like that in the
And
last
once
month or two? You haven't.
and once again,
Come on,
Mass.
bro.
No. And once again, I get that he was very passive in the first half. But like I said, I think Paul George should be taking more shots. I don't think the thing is when Paul George sees Kawhi Leonard on the court, he gets very complacent. Like I said, he gets very passive. He should have still. I think the Clippers should have still had him as the number one.
Which is throwing
Take the
off their
majority of the
hamstrings.
shots. He should have took majority of the shots. And Kawhi Leonard, like BJ said, should have played a majority of defense in that game. Kawhi shouldn't have took as much shots. I think PG should have had that job. You know what I'm
But it's
saying?
not just based off of Paul, bro. Rich, come on, bro. It's not just based off Paul George. My
It
statement was
was
you said
Mass. It was plenty of Mass. It was
yeah, let me.
plenty of opportunities that Kawhi could have played better. Kawhi played good. He
That's
played good
not what
on.
we're talking about, bro. Bro, you're not listening, man. We're saying that he threw the offense off. Like, so Q Rich, their offense didn't look different to you last night? You
I
thought it
think
looked the
though,
same last night?
to me personally, I think the whole Clippers offense was off. I don't think Kawhi
That's our
was
point,
off.
bro, because he
I
threw it
don't.
off. He threw it off.
So
What
you
you
so
talking
so
about?
so Matt, you telling me Zubac going? You telling me Matt, you telling me Zubac getting them 2 fouls in the first quarter didn't throw the offense off?
Yeah,
It did.
Yes,
I mean that
was
played
the
a
biggest.
yes,
role.
I
it
think
I
that
mean
did,
was.
that played a
it
I think
did,
role.
that
Yeah.
was
but
the
it did
biggest.
though.
I
But
think that was
BJ,
the
both things
biggest.
are true though.
I
Both
think
things
the
are true.
Yeah,
biggest.
both can be
I
true.
think the biggest thing was that Zubac getting put out the game really got the Clippers off kill. And Ty Lue said that. I think Kawhi coming back. See, this is why I'm gonna go with Kawhi. And Q said something interesting. He said PG gets complacent with Kawhi. That's true. When he sees Kawhi beside him, he does get more complacent. I also put it on James Harden. Like, Harden has to look at PG as a second option. Harden is not the second option on his team. And I think sometimes people think he's not the second option. You can't just park PG in the corner and just make him a spot and become a
Right. That's
shooter.
not his game.
He's
Exactly.
gonna
That's
get
not his
fucking
game.
bored. That's not that you can't you have to let him get into actions as well. So I think Harden, I think Zubac getting off, I think Kawhi coming back a little bit does, that I think the players look at him like, okay, we got Kawhi on the court, we're good. Instead of keeping that intensity,
Exactly.
they look at Kawhi as like we got Kawhi on the court, it's all good.
Yeah, but BJ,
I think personally they should have came out at least with that approach game 3. I think with this game being a rhythm game for Kawhi to see where he's gonna look and how he's gonna look on both ends of the court, PG should have been the main guy. No,
yeah,
no, no pun
Q,
Yeah, yeah.
Rich. So this
Uh-huh.
speaks to what we're saying, right? BJ, I've been up here. I've been saying this with you. There's an identity issue because you can sit here, BJ, and you can assess and you can say, hey, listen, I definitely think Harden needs to do this. Paul George needs to do this. I agree with you. That's not Paul George's game to just be standing around catch threes and shit. So that's showing us there's an identity issue that's there. I don't think y'all are in as much trouble as a lot of motherfuckers are saying right now. I do think that, yo, listen, as a Mavs fan, bro, we have a lot to work on. This was not a good fucking game. This was a
That's
sloppy ass
fair.
game on both ends. The refs, they held their whistles, right? And it was a sloppy game on both ends. I don't think neither team should walk away from this shit feeling high and mighty where the fan bases can come up here and, yeah, nigga, yeah, what we say? Like, no, bro, because Gafford didn't show up. Gafford got hurt. Gafford is looking like he's too small. We're going to have to figure something out with the bigs. Yeah, it is what it is, bro. Like, and but to say that Kawhi Leonard didn't throw the chemistry off, I think both things can be true. Zubac getting in trouble early in the first quarter definitely threw the game off. But guess what? Kawhi Leonard being inserted back into the lineup so soon, I thought he would at least came off the bench. Did
I
he
hear
come
you.
off the bench?
I understand what he's saying. So, Q,
Yeah.
what Brandon's saying is, I guess what we're getting caught up in, we're thinking that we're so worried about, we want to blame Kawhi. People want to blame. I think what they're saying is that just his presence, whether it's good or bad, is going to
You want to
make
get him going.
people are going to. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You want to get him
But-
going, and it might throw your chemistry off where where Paul George should be taking over. He's probably looking at it. Hey, look, bro just got back. He working his way back in. He getting his legs up under him. Let's get him going. But that you can't do that in the playoff game because while y'all trying to get Kawhi going, guess what? We're getting going.
Right.
So it was
Kawhi took
possessions
17
where
shots last night, rebrand, and Paul took 14. That's throwing the offense off to me.
Mass.
Yeah.
Even if Kawhi did take 17 shots, he made 7 out of those shots, right? So
yeah, he
what
did
about
good for
what?
sure.
No,
I'm not
right?
arguing that, bro. That's not an
No.
argument.
I didn't even finish my point. Right? So we lost by 3 points. So I get that he can throw the rhythm off, but at the same time, a lot of other guys outside of Kawhi Leonard missed shots. We missed 55 shots also, and Kawhi only took 17.
Norman Powell let y'all down last
So
night.
we
All
didn't
we're
have
saying is that
a
he threw
lot
the
of
rhythm off,
a
man.
lot
That's
of people.
crazy, rebrand.
Yeah, Norm. I got to
I
talk.
mean, what's going on right now?
Yeah, Norman Powell
All
let
we
y'all
said
niggas down.
was that Kawhi threw the rhythm. Before, just real quick, BJ. All we're saying is that Kawhi threw the rhythm off, bro. That's it, and it's okay. I mean, it should be expected. He missed a month, and so, bro, don't take it personal over attacking Kawhi Leonard. No, I mean, bro, you should expect him to throw the rhythm off because he ain't played in a goddamn month, and we said this shit 2 days ago. And so, why are you surprised that we're saying this?
It's
It
not a
happened,
disrespect to Kawhi.
right?
We're not saying that
Exactly.
he's not good. Niggas just saying,
Correct.
bro,
He's
he
still
got to get his
good.
legs under him. I would have
Correct.
waited another game. Listen, if we
Yeah,
win
bro.
with who we won with, guess what? I'm not in a rush to bring Kawhi Leonard back because guess what? We just beat y'all in game one. We actually showed great spots in game one. So why would I rush my guy to come back when listen, we won without him? Hold on. Let them cook, Kawhi. Sit out real quick. And then depending on what happened in game 3 and game 4, that's when we okay, all right, Kawhi, we're gonna bring you back in. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
go ahead.
to me, in my opinion, how I'm looking at it, okay, cool. Y'all saying he did throw the game off as far as like just breaking down the defenses, as far as like with the rhythm and our pace and certain things. I get that for sure. But why I say Kawhi didn't throw the rhythm off is because at the same time, those simple shots that Kawhi was shooting, Kawhi can make.
Yeah,
He
that's
can
true.
make those shots. Kawhi didn't do nothing different. We didn't play any different than how we usually play. We just missed those shots. It's that simple. Kawhi didn't move any slower. Kawhi still stole the ball and got out in transition and dunked the ball. Kawhi was still getting scrappy points,
He got a
rebounding.
he got a
He
late
was
he got
still
a late
doing the
and one that they called back. But yeah, he
he
definitely
was and on top of that, I think Kawhi got fouled on multiple times for and ones, and the challenges went the opposite way. So I don't think Kawhi really threw it off. I really don't think so. Pace wise, I can understand now. I can understand because yes, he's probably not as fresh. I understand that, but I don't think offensively he did. I really don't. Defensively neither. I
but
think
he
as a yeah,
no, no,
Hold on,
no, hold on.
let me. Hold on, Brent. Let me
Oh
get
yeah,
to
go
the
ahead, go
rest.
ahead.
Let me get the rest of the people in, and shout out to everybody on the panel, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure I hit that like button. You gotta get my man Ryan in the building. What's good, Ryan?
What's going on, guys, man? Yeah, it's I was talking, I think I was talking to you guys yesterday, and I said that the way the Clippers lose the series and they lose these games is when their offense is not it goes in the tank effectively. The Mavericks didn't really, I didn't see any big schematic changes. I mean, obviously Kid went smaller earlier, and I think that's going to be the case for the rest of the series because that's the only real card he has right now to kind of counter. Because I mean, look, if I think we're also kind of ignoring a couple of things too, which is number one, I mean, Gafford is borderline unplayable in this series. I mean, he was -8 last night. He was 0 of 3 from the field. He only played 9 minutes, 2 fouls. I don't see a way.
Hold on. Hey, Ryan, my fault, man. I'm so sorry. Let me get to Sean real quick because he said he only got 5. And I just saw in the chat.
Okay, cool.
I'm so sorry. Let me get to Sean real quick. What's good, Sean? Sean. Oh, I guess he ain't, well, let me go back to Ryan. My bad. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, man. Yeah, if he needs to pop in, no worries. But I was saying, I didn't think the Mavs really played all that differently than they played in game one. I mean, you're looking at the minutes. Irving and Doncic are playing 40+ minutes. We know that they're going to be out there, almost the entire game. It was wild that Luka played 46 minutes last night. I mean, and his offense is going to be, up and down. I mean, he took 26 shots last night. Obviously he made five threes. He took 14 of them, which is absurd. But his offense is going to be up and down. It's going to be a little inefficient because when you're playing that many minutes in a playoff series, guess what? The longer this series goes, that those minutes are going to catch up with you. And so regardless of how well he was playing on defense last night, and to points about the defense he was playing, there was guys shading Kawhi. I mean, let's just really be honest. It was Luka on him, but there was 2 guys behind him, knowing that, that Kawhi is the main ball handler and the main scorer. So it's just about kicking out for the Clippers and finding the open man at that point. But I'm just looking again at how the Mavs played schematically, and, Derek Jones, PJ Washington played 32 and 35 minutes respectively. Irving and Doncic played 42 and 46 minutes. Those two are almost always going to be out there the entire game. And then you had Keebler playing effectively the small ball center role for about 28 minutes. So we know we're going to see more of him. And again, as a Clipper fan, I am so not worried about the shooting performance last night. That was the worst shooting performance the Clippers have had their entire season. Was last night, their entire season. The Clippers have been a fantastic offensive basketball team this entire year. And I don't believe for a second that the Mavs figured anything out when the Clippers shot 26% from 3. They took 33s and only made 8 of them. And that's including 0 of 5 from Kawhi. I don't know the last time Kawhi went 0 of 5 from 3-point range. So I just look at all of this and I'm still not worried if I'm a Clipper fan, because here's the thing too. One of the best traits of the Clippers this entire season has been their road, how well they played on the road. Historically, I think this year they were the 3rd best road team in the league, I want to say, total. I think Celtics were 1st, and I think Minnesota was 2nd. So they're tied, I think, for the 3rd best road team in the NBA this season. I expect them to get 1 in Dallas, and I really wouldn't be shocked if they get 2 in Dallas. I think a lot of the misses that they made are completely correctable from the last game. Norman Powell had an awful game. The main critique I would put on Ty Lue for this game would have been subbing Terrence Mann for the minutes that you gave Norman Powell. That about 6 minutes there, I would have probably taken Mann just because Powell was really struggling offensively.
Yes.
And I think that's the real key here, is that Mann, I think, is still, he's been shooting the lights out lately. He's been phenomenal from 3. And his defense on Luka is solid. It's nothing is going to stop Luka, and that's okay. You're just trying to make his shots more inefficient. So if the only thing I can really budge on Ty Lue yesterday was, the 2 quick fouls on Zoo sucked, because that kind of changed the complexity of the game a little bit. But the biggest knock I can just say on Ty Lue from the last game was just, I would sub in Mann's and Norm's minutes differently. I would have had that 6-minute gap go to T-Man instead of Norman Powell. But again, if I'm looking at the entirety of this series, I'm just saying, okay, so the only change that kid is making is just playing Kleber more as a small ball center, and then that's it. And we lost by 3 with shooting 6% from 3. Like, dude, the Clippers should be fine. I really am not. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. BJ, let me I ain't the difference between me and all the other clowns. I ain't a fucking no show and show up only front running. So let me make sure I show my face real quick.
Put a headshot on it.
I'm next in line. I gotta get loaded. Ryan's pretty much hit on the head. There's a couple things that Ty Lue did wrong that I didn't hear Ryan mention. First of all, PG was cooking Dallas early in the game. He hit like 2 or 3 shots in a row. And then Ty, dumbass, for some reason, wants to start feeding, getting Kawhi involved in the game. Let me give a positive to Kyrie Irving that actually helped Ty Lue out. Kyrie clearly went over to Jason Kidd and told him, hey, let me rough Harden up a little bit. And he got Harden to start playing like hero ball. So Harden just tried to do, instead of giving PG the ball and not give the ball to Kawhi or Harden because PG was cooking, Kyrie got him to play hero ball. I would assume that gets addressed behind closed doors and won't happen again. But shout out to Kyrie for trying to rough Harden up and make Harden kind of go, a little over selfish on the offense. But the bigger problem was Ty Lue. Paul George was cooking, right? And he just goes completely away from him. That's the first problem. Another problem Ty Lue didn't do. Why you stop feeding Zubac the ball? They just went completely away from Zubac. Another thing Ty Lue didn't do. Why did you go to Kawhi on Luka when T-Man unlocked up Luka the past 2 times they played? And why did you go away from what was already working and bench T-Man for 21 minutes, right? That was completely Ty Lue was completely garbage last night. I expect him to do better. Another thing Ty Lue didn't do to add to all this whole fucking list, Westbrook. Y'all know I'm not a Westbrook fan. Every game is different. That's the whole point of having depth, right? Westbrook was clearly the better, more effective player than Harden, because Harden was trying to do that the hero shit with that Kyrie had got under his skin and let him do, right? You should have kept Westbrook in the game, and you should have kept T-Man on Luka. If Luka plays 46 minutes, T-Man plays 46 minutes, and Luka never even hits a couple of those shots. He's going to hit shots, but if they spread out, it don't really affect the game that much. So, not feeding Zubac, taking T-Man off of Luka, helping Dallas out was fucking idiotic. Taking Westbrook out of the game was idiotic. And not feeding Paul George, he was the best scorer on the court for the Clippers. That was idiotic. Like, there's no point in having depth. And one last thing, they about to load me, but the point of having depth, right, is every game is different. Like Jason Kidd said, okay, I'm going to attack this way this game. Ty Lue should be, okay, they're coming at me like this way tonight, then let me go over here and go this way tonight, right? Instead, he wants to keep the same lineup. And Kawhi ain't played for like 3 or 4 weeks, so he's going to be rusty. So why are you trying to call plays for him when Paul George is cooking? And that made zero sense. Kawhi was really effective on defense. He had 4 steals and a block. Like, just let him work on that end. His offense, like Ryan said, his offense will come. He's got 3 days off to practice after this. Ty Lue was completely garbage. And then why put Kawhi on Luka when T-Man he's already locked him up 2 games in a row. Now the games are spread out, obviously, but it's still 2 games in a row. So that didn't make no damn sense. And T-Man's job, like this is what Jason Kidd does with PJ Washington, right? He don't care if PJ Derrick Jones am not hitting shots. That's not their job. Their job is to play defense all the time when the stars are on the court, right? So he kept PJ was bricking everything for a whole game and a half, right? But it didn't matter. The main job is to play defense. You get on your scores for not scoring the ball, right? So you address Paul George, address Harden, address Powell, address Westbrook. You tell them to score the ball. You don't take the best defender off the court and say, okay, well, I don't want him to play defense because you're not. No, you tell Harden to stop shooting the ball so damn much. Paul George is hot. Let's feed Paul George. I got depth. especially in the game, come out. Like everything he did last night made absolute and not feeding Zubac. that was completely that's mind-boggling. But yeah, he was terrible. I'm sure he's going to come back with saying, okay, I made a mistake by putting T-Man on the bench, only playing 21 minutes. And remember, I gave Ty Lue a shout out last game for choosing defense over offense, but I also said this is why I'll never pick a Clippers in a sweep, right? Because this Ty Lue right here will show up, and all of a sudden, he'll scrap the whole defensive plan to try that offense. And how do you play Powell when Powell's not shooting the ball well? He played him 20, 25, 30 minutes in 2 games back-to-back, right? Okay, what if the motive is, okay, well, Terrence Mann wasn't shooting, which ain't his job. Powell's not scoring, which is his job. So you take Powell off the court, you leave T-Man and Westbrook on the court, and you win the game by 10. You only lost by 3, and you didn't play the defenders how you should have played them. You let Powell and Harden get picked on, which I told y'all all year long. Powell and Harden, they get on the court at the same time, are going to be targeted more in the playoffs than they are in the regular season because it's the playoffs. Nobody wants to show their hand, right? So as you saw, Luke and Jason Kidd, they said, all right, we're going to Harden and Powell. Since Ty Lue thinks he's going to put all his offense on the court, that's what they're supposed to do. But like Ryan said, you know, we still going to win the series. But this is why I said 5. But the people who said 6, or if they want to say 7, BJ, I will hear it out because this Ty Lue is bound to show up once or twice a series where he scraps. We watched elite defense from the Clippers on Dallas 2 games in a row. Ty Lue shows up and says, "Fuck it, let's try all offense tonight instead of just going what's good." But shout out to the panel, man. Shout out to Chad. Y'all hit the like button, BJ. If y'all still on, once I get this shit done, I'll hop back in. But I got to go. The series of 1-1. Kawhi, like Ryan said, Kawhi will be better. You know, obviously. It's the first game. They should never gave the man the ball. Just let him play the defense, like I said. But I'll be back in a little bit. I'll see y'all if y'all here. If not, I'll catch you on the next one.
Let me say something because I'm the person that comment was about. I ain't duck no smoke, and I knew you niggas was gonna pull this. So I specifically went back and timestamped and actually screenshot myself in the chat when you actually went live. You just happen to be playing some Keyshawn Johnson shit or whatever like that. I'm like, I ain't got time for this shit. But let me say this. This is exactly why I be wanting smoke with Clippers fans. Cause it be the clown shit, right? Niggas can't just admit when niggas be wrong. You see how BJ I came up here? I'm like, hey, look, I was actually wrong, man. Gafford don't want no smoke with Zubac. Right? You see how I just came up here and own that shit? Let's stop sitting here talking about, well, the Clippers, I mean, they played a bad game. Like, bro, the Mavs have played 2 of the worst games they've played all season this year since the playoffs have started. Now, some of the shit, yes, absolutely, we got to get the Clippers credit, right? I actually agree with Thomas. I don't see why Man didn't get more minutes because I think Man did a great job on Luka Doncic. I think he did a great job off ball and on ball on Luka Doncic. Here's the thing, though. Thomas specifically said, because remember, BJ, I was like, yo, listen, it's still going to take time for Kawhi Leonard to get back into the grind of things, right? It was Thomas who I remember that actually said, it's Kawhi Leonard, next question. It's Kawhi Leonard, next question. Okay, so the next question is, why the fuck couldn't Kawhi Leonard be Kawhi Leonard then, Thomas? You niggas, it was you niggas that came up here and sat here and said, it was you that came up here. 2 weeks now we've been talking about this series, and niggas was telling us, oh, well, we got James Harden. I trust James Harden. I trust Paul George. I trust this. I trust that. Them niggas got fucking scorched last night. Paul George, if you really that nigga, take the fucking ball. Read the room. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard is not in shape right now. Kawhi Leonard has to catch up. No disrespect to Kawhi Leonard. The man been hurt. He got to catch up. At the end of the day, if you sit here and relinquish your role to a nigga that was on maternity leave for a fucking month, you are a bozo. Now, let's talk about Harden, who ran from the fucking ball in the 4th quarter. If James Harden had the heart of Russell Westbrook, this series would be over in 4. Clippers would have a series. But he's not. He's James Harden. And Monty, shout out my dog Monty, he already predicted it. He said, hey, listen, James Harden gonna give us 2 good games. All right, he gave y'all 1. So that means he got 1 more in him. I already said Mavs in 6. So I think you're gonna take 1 in Dallas. I'm actually gonna go to 1 of the games. You're gonna take a game in Dallas. But guess what? You're running right into my prediction of us taking it in 6. At the end of the day, y'all sit here and talk about, oh, well, I mean, Luka and Kyrie not gonna play no defense. They not gonna play no defense. You niggas went 2 of 17 against Luka Doncic.
In game 2.
In game 2, niggas went
Right.
2 of
So
17.
let's see if Luca and Kyrie
Niggas went
lock shit up
2
in 3,
of 7. Hold
4,
on.
5.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
we gonna
True
see.
Rich. Cause I watched the
We gonna
video and
see.
you
We
was
gonna see
talking
because
shit.
they
You
was
was
they was
talking
close in
shit.
game 1 also.
Hold
They
on,
was.
let me talk, nigga. At the end
They
of the day,
was.
game 1, hold on, because I'm gonna get the Clippers credit. Game 1, you niggas came in, you said fuck that. We don't need Kawhi. We gonna lock shit up. Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey and them niggas, Russell Westbrook, you niggas played with some fucking grit. I'm giving you niggas respect. We played like bitches in game 1. Game 2, why the fuck would you niggas get away from Zubac? Somebody in the fucking comments laughing like, oh, you guys are gonna run your offense through Zubac? Nigga, that's the smart fucking thing to do because obviously we don't have nobody that can do shit with Zubac. So why would you get away from him? You can get Kawhi Leonard his legs up under him. Give him some minutes. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, do not fuck up your chemistry, which is what I said you niggas were going to do. You're going to bring this nigga back, and he's going to fuck up the chemistry. Now you got PG running around this bitch acting like he want to be a number 2 when he really should be the number 1 right now. So respect to the Clippers. All my smoke is for you delusional ass Clippers fans
So
that come
Brandon,
up here.
I do have a question for you, and it's more of a
Good brother. Good. How you doing, brother? I'm
good man. I do have a question for you, and to have a legitimate conversation about this. Because here's my question because you're saying Clippers or you're saying Mavs in 6, but here's my question again. Just looking at the stat lines, looking at how these games are being played right now. My question is, if Gafford is not playable in this series, which again, he only played 9 minutes last night.
Yeah.
He was a -8 on the court. He
got hurt though, by the way. He did hurt his back.
So we'll see how he feels come game 3. I'm going to assume he plays, but we'll see what happens. So assuming that we kind of got the idea, at least I did from that whatever game quarter 3 into quarter 4 of game 1, and then kind of for big stretches last night, Jason Kidd wanted to play small. He wanted to play Kleber at the center position and play small to kind of stretch the floor more and give Kyrie and Luka easier.
Because Lively was making like rookie mistakes last night.
Yeah.
Like,
So
he jumped the ball and go ahead though.
Totally. I totally agree with you. So my question is then, Kleber played 28 minutes last night. He only took 4 shots. He was 2 of 3 from 3, which is a great shooting percentage for taking 4 shots.
Yeah, it's like you're doing cardio.
Yeah. So my question though is moving forward for the Mavericks, because here's where I think the series is kind of decided here. The Clippers were able to get 10 more shots last night because of offensive rebounds, because again, they're most likely not going to play small for bigger stretches. They're going to keep Stu out there. So the question really becomes, do you think the Mavs are going to win this series by giving the Clippers more shots effectively? Because if they give them 10 more shots every game the rest of the series, I don't see how the Mavs win the series, because the Clippers aren't going to shoot that bad for the rest of the series.
Yeah, but 10 more shots ain't really a big deal, Rebrand.
Yeah, but do you think that? So I'll say this, right? Much credit to Zubac, and I'm gonna continue to give him credit because he's I think, listen, he's the dark horse of y'all team right now. That's the guy you guys need to go through. Not saying that he got to be a number 1, but definitely utilize him on our bigs, because we obviously can't do shit with Zubac.
And Brandon, to be fair, real quick, Zubac did pick up 2 quick fouls in the first.
Quick fouls, right? He's not gonna do that. I'm not gonna bet that he's gonna do that in game 3, right? So if game 3, if Zubac is as aggressive as he was in game 1, it does 2 things. It gets us in foul trouble, which fucks up the game plan, and 2, they can't stop him. I mean, he's dropping the shit right in the rim. So it's like, I understand that, right? But see, what happened was, what's your name, Ryan? So what happened was we had a lot of Clippers fans and Mavs fans who came in, and they were just trying to give us the big names. And what I was saying was, hey, listen, it's not going to be the sexiest names that's going to make an impact in this series, right? So for the Clippers, that may need to be Zubac and Russell Westbrook is a big name, right? Those two guys that are going to make a big difference in this series. And if Terrence Mann can get some more minutes and play some defense and shit like that, he's going to make a big difference. Norman Powell, I'm not going to bet that Norman Powell is going to go 2 or 20 from
Right.
the field, whatever he shot. I'm not going to bet that. I'm not going to bet he's going to do that. But what
I
I'm
want to
saying
address
is,
Ryan's question, me, Brown.
oh no,
bro.
for sure, I'm going to
Okay.
land it here.
All right.
What I wanted to say is this: we can acknowledge that the Clippers have not been, they didn't play their best game last night. But also, guess what? The Mavs didn't play our best game last night. And we didn't play our best game one. You guys, I'm
Mhm.
not going to say that we gave y'all the game. Y'all went into LA where y'all were at home. Y'all took it from us. Y'all took that game. We didn't give y'all the game. Y'all took it. But last night, we took the game.
So Brandon, but here's my other question. Just again, statistically speaking,
Moss can
I'm
get
sorry,
it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm fumbling my words there. Statistically speaking, again, I'm just looking at the shot chart here for last night. So PJ Washington attempted 10 shots. He made 5 of them. She shot 50%.
That was decent. That's more than what I expected out of
that's
him. Yeah.
that's a solid game for
He
PJ.
played good defense though. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
he did. No, he played a large stretch of the game. He played 35 minutes. He was in there for most of the game. So and then you have Irving and Doncic who combined. And again, I would assume this is going to be the case. They combined to take 44 shots between them. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Ryan, let me say this. I am not a big fan of what Luka Doncic did last night. It was a lot of times where he bailed the Clippers out with that stupid ass step back three. I don't think we're gonna win the series with him doing shit like that. Luka has to come off the ball more.
Well, see, that's Brandon. That's what I was going to ask you because I think realistically, Ty Lue, I think, has the right game plan right now, which is he's funneling all of the shots to Luka and Kyrie and saying, I will live and
make
die.
the other guys beat us. Yeah,
yes,
that's
make
classic.
everyone else beat us. Make everyone else beat us. And that's
right, because our other guys haven't proven that we can. I think, like I know y'all not big on Timothy Hardaway Jr. I'm telling you, watch for this, Ryan. We're gonna miss Timothy Hardaway Jr. We're gonna miss him. Yeah, he got hurt. He hurt his sprained ankle.
Yeah.
But
Brandon, what's going on with Exum? What's going on? Why is he not getting minutes? He only got
I'm
6
not
minutes
sure,
left.
bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I really don't know. Like maybe game 1 they were like kind of niggas panicked or some shit after that. I'm not sure. But listen, bro. If you watching this series, bro, neither team has played their best basketball yet.
Yeah, that's a fact. And just let me address Ryan's question real quick. And Dante Exum last night picked up some dumb fouls. I mean, he's a lot smarter defensive player than that, and so his shooting is a major factor as well. Ryan, can he knock down perimeter shots? And so I don't think Kit trusts him to hit those type of shots in crunch time. But you talked a lot about offensive rebounds and second chance points, and the Clippers had 10 more shot attempts. Well, because they went small with Cleaver at the 5. Well, it's all about what you value, right? I mean, the Mavericks right now value floor spacing. And so I'll rather, take the chance to give up, 10 shots extra a game. Okay. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a factor, but it's not going to be the end all be all. But Maxter Cleaver's floor spacing, Ryan, to me for the Dallas Mavericks, it's needed, man. It's needed because, like you said, they're funneling everything to Kyrie and Luka. And what happened last night in the fourth quarter late? PJ Washington hit 2 corner threes, and Cleaver hit a big time 3. And so if you put Gafford in that situation, he's not a floor stretcher or a floor spacer. And so Luka doesn't have the option to pass to him, right? And so now if you're the Clippers, I can shake Luka and Kyrie and still stay home with PJ, and I'm going to force Derrick Jones Jr. and Gafford to hit shots. Come on, bro. Like that's fucking pure delusion. And
I agree. That's you're
right.
You're right, Moss. I mean, it's no, but
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This
it's all about what you value, and I think Kid values that spacing,
Well, and that's and again, I think that my thing has just been, I guess, schematically, I don't think that the Mavericks can really do anything differently than what they're doing. I think the question is just going to be how much are they going to go small for the majority of the series? Because again, if Gafford is hurt or if Gafford is unplayable, the question then becomes, okay, then you're playing Maxey for the majority of the game. Then you have to do that. I mean, again, he played 28 minutes last night, so he effectively played almost two and a half quarters, or two.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So he's playing a good portion of the game now. So I think again for Ty Lue, that just becomes then if Kleber's in the game, if you play Zoo, you're gonna have the size advantage and you will get more shots, but your spacing might not be as good. And then on the flip side of that, if you play Westbrook or if you play,
Correct.
If they're playing Tice, they haven't played Tice at all this series, but he's technically the small, could be small. So if you play that, you can go smaller and you can have a little bit more offense, but your defense may suffer a little bit. So again, it's all about, I agree with everything you're saying here. It's about what do you value? What is happening in the game? And again, the Clippers last night, I mean, there was that one sequence where Westbrook was like at the rim, and I think he tried 3 layups and he couldn't make any of them. That's some of this stuff. I mean, look, we can nitpick too on like the Kyrie foul at the end of the game that wasn't called a foul.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I mean, there was definitely some weird officiating last night.
If you have a replay center, I don't understand how that's not a foul. He literally hit Kawhi in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it was a total foul.
Yeah, it was a foul. Yeah, no, it definitely was a foul. So I want to ask you two a question, and Ryan and QH. Does Tyronn Lue have to make a drastic decision or a tough decision late in the fourth to go with Russ or James Harden? If James Harden is being passive and he's not playmaking, he's not being assertive, right? Looking to win his individual matchup or play make or get downhill and create, then to me, he's not playable. Because defensively, he does not compete. He gets lost at times in transition. He gets lost in the half court. And so what if I told you that Ty, in these upcoming fourth quarters, is going to have to really make tough decisions to say, you know what, James, tonight, you ain't got it going right now. I'm going with Russ. But then if you play Russ, then you lose some of the things that James brings, right? You lose perimeter shooting for the most part. But Russ has been hitting shots, right? I mean, Russ hit a big time 3 last night.
Well, and Moss, too, I would argue, see, here's the thing, too, is that like last night, let's just say theoretically for let's say the last 5-6 minutes, you could have gone, instead of going Norman Powell because they were playing for offense, you could have gone with T-Man, Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, Zoo. You could have gone with that lineup, and that's a very defensively strong lineup there. Now, you lose a little bit of the spacing with Russ.
I don't like Russ and Terrence on the floor at the same time, bro.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of the spacing, but I would argue the defense is high. And I think it's all about how the game is going, because if the Clippers are hitting shots early and they have a lead going into the fourth, where, hey, if they have that same situation again where it's 7 minutes left and maybe they have a 7 or 8 point lead, maybe you play defense at that point and you're saying we're going to play for our defensive principles. But if you're behind and you're not hitting shots, I think you have to play the offense out there. I think that's what the trade-off has to be.
Well, you said it, Ryan. Time, place, and score is going to dictate how Jason and Ty coaches these games, right? If you have a lead, then go with more of a defensive lineup and just hope and pray that Terrence and Russ can get to the basket or at least make a 3 here or there. Listen, I think this is going to come down to these role players. I don't care how many shots they take or miss. It may just come down to, in the most crucial moments, which team's role players are going to make shots, right? Terrence, Russ, or compared to Cleva, Jones, and PJ Washington.
And Moss, I was going to say too, if you look at the stats again last night, people are saying, oh, the Mavs didn't even shoot that great last night. I'm looking at the stats. They took 76 shots. They made 32. It's 42%. I mean, by NBA standards, 42% is
about league average. Yeah.
That's about league average. I'm like, that's not bad. And then from 3, the Mavericks shot 33 threes and made 14. That's 42%. That's fairly
good.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
They also great. They also had 27 free throws and they made 18 of them. That's not
not good.
2 or 3 more free throws they could have made, but they took 27 free throws, is pretty high. And on the flip end of that, again, the Clippers shot 8 of 30 from 3. That's 26%. I mean, that's awful. That is just awful by any stretch. And then they shot 32 of 87. That's about 37%.
Yeah.
So my point with all of this is the idea that the Clippers, the Clippers were so bad offensively, I think just to a big margin, and the Mavs were, like you were saying, it's about league average. I would say it's right, maybe it's a tick below league average for what they're saying. My point is just the idea that you're going to shoot 50% from 3. I mean, that's a lot, man. It's just that's a lot of made threes. I'm not saying
hard to overcome, bro. That's hard to overcome.
It's hard to overcome. So that's just, I guess my point with all of this is I think the law of averages, things will weigh out.
Of course
Again,
they will. We
like
saw it in
granted,
game 2, Ryan. I mean, listen,
yeah,
the Clippers shot the ball well in game 1, and I says
yeah.
because I came in the stream and says, they're going to come back down to earth in game 2. Not saying that they're going to shoot it bad, but they're not going to shoot that well. I mean, it's like basketball just doesn't work that way, right? I mean, I've only seen a few teams in the series shoot the ball that well throughout the whole series, and it just doesn't happen that often. Now, I'm going to say this, man. Anytime Lively, Derrick Jones Jr., or PJ Washington are at the rim, if you're Clippers, you have to foul them. Make them, because you said it, right? They went 18 for 27 from the free throw line. Most of those misses came from those 3 guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so if you're Clippers, like, you can't give these guys no easy layups, no baskets. You foul them and you make them make 2 free throws. You know what I'm saying? And then also, too, Q, Rich, and Ryan, I don't like the fact that Kawhi took more shots than PG, right? I mean, he has to. I don't like that.
I think I think Moss, here's the hard part about this game, right? You knew that they wanted to get Kawhi in the flow of the game, and look, let's just be really honest about some of the shots Kawhi missed. They were shots he makes 9 times out of 10. I mean, like
That's all. I also agree with that. Also, he can make the same shots he took.
They're the same shot. So my issue with Kawhi is that it was clear from about the mid second quarter on that he was real rusty. And if you look, the worst quarter the Clippers had last night was the first. They scored 19 points. That's the lowest they've scored in a quarter in this series, right? And so I think for me, just watching the game, I'm going, okay, he's clearly rusty once we're getting into the second quarter. And then in the second half, I would have just changed things up a little bit. At the same token, he's a superstar. He's a guy that's had a great success against Dallas in the past. I understand that it's not the same exact team, but there's obviously some guys that are still there. So my thing is just this. I expect Kawhi in game 3 to come back after having several days of practice. He's going to look a lot better. A lot of the rest will be knocked off. I expect him to be highly efficient, normal Kawhi in the next game. I expect him to have at least make 2 threes. I expect him to make at least 10 to 12 shots. He's going to be a lot better in the next game. I think
the reason why I said that I didn't like Kawhi taking more than Paul George is because during the game, you have to understand what's going on during the game. You have to adjust, you know what I'm saying, while it's happening. And I agree. Most of the shots he missed, like in that free throw line extended, yeah, he can make those shots. But him shooting threes and fucking like long twos, no. Because you saw it yesterday, like when he shot the 3 ball and his long twos, like the ball wasn't like you can see the lack of lift. You can see the ball coming up short. It was apparent. And so PG and Ty has to recognize, Kawhi has to recognize this. Hey, man, tonight I ain't got it going. I'm still trying to, you know what I'm saying, acclimate myself back into a rhythm. PG, bro, I need you to take this shit over because right now I ain't got it. See, that's leadership, bro. That's coaching, right? I mean, that's team chemistry. So Paul George has to be stubborn and arrogant in certain moments. Kawhi, we know you're Kawhi Leonard. I know your resume. I know what you can do. But unfortunately, you missed the last month, right? You haven't played. Bro, I got us. You feel me? And so sometimes, bro, you have to go against the grain. And even if a player is a quote-unquote superstar, right? Well, he's still human, right? So PG has the cachet and has the ability to, in my opinion, to override certain things, right? In the moment. And so I thought PG and Ty and Kawhi yesterday did a poor job at that, bro. Recognize what was happening.
But Mass, also, I think I think Kawhi, yes, could have played better, but I also do think he'll be way more prepared next game, having the type of game he had yesterday, because he knows what's at stake. He knows you know what I'm saying? He didn't play as efficient yesterday. And I think he's gonna be way more aggressive. I don't think he just wasn't as aggressive the first half, because I really think personally it was like more of a feely type of game to see how he feels, because even when he was asking Ty Lue, so how you gonna, is he on a minute restriction? They were just saying we're gonna go off basically how he feels. You know what I'm saying? So I think, okay, I knew when he came out in that second half, he was gonna play better, because I thought he was running and playing pretty fine. Honestly, the first half, he was just very passive. He just very, slow. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't really in rhythm in the first half. Yes, I agree with that.
How
But
did he look to
he
you, bro?
looked
Did he
way
look
better
healthy
in the
to you?
second half. And I think that will carry on to game 3 and game 4 for sure.
Did he look healthy to you? Did his legs
Yes.
look
I
strong
wouldn't
to
I
you?
wouldn't say 100%, but Kawhi definitely looked to me
Uh-huh.
80%. 80%.
Okay. I'm just asking.
He looked 80% to me.
I'm just asking.
He didn't look injured. He wasn't limping or anything. He didn't
Oh
look
no, I
injured.
agree with that. No, I agree with
I
that.
think the biggest thing, and it's like this was such a weird game because even with all the bad things, we were up by 6 points in the fourth. Like I did not like how the game was going at all offensively. So and when I say Clips in 5, I don't mean that in a way to disrespect them. I'm just saying I just think the Clippers are just a better team than the Mavericks. Even at their worst, I still think the Clippers can still beat the Mavericks. But in saying with Kawhi, it's kind of tough because it's like I would love PG to take more of the shots last night because I thought he could have kept going. But I know how Kawhi is, like game 3 and game 4, based off him not being hurt and him just missing shots that he 95% of the time going to make, easy mid-range shots. I expect that to go through. I think he's going to have big games and one of these 3 or 4. So I guess my question to y'all, do y'all think it was anything that the Mavericks did to kind of slow him down? Or do you think it was just more so him?
I mean, I think BJ, what's going to end up happening is you're going to see a lot of what they did last night. Was they're going to if they put Luka on him or if they get switched on him, then they're going to shade him with 1 or 2 more guys to try to force Kawhi to either take a tough mid-range jumper, which is what, kind of where he's living in that vein of where Luka is guarding him, or they're going to force him to get the ball out of his hands. And look, in game 1, I'm going to say this too, the ball movement was just overall better in game 1 in the vein of the way that they were moving the ball, finding constantly the open man, attacking the switches that the Mavs made to say we're going to get the best possible shot that we can. And I think that will come. That's going to come in game 3 and game 4. But I'm going to say this though, because we saw that in game 6 of the 2021 series for Kawhi against the Mavericks in game 6. There's going to come a game that you're going to have your superstars win the game. Like you're gonna just like last night, I would argue Luka was saying, I need to win this game. I have to win this game. We can't go down 0-2 to the Clippers. We're done. So last night, to me, at least when I was watching the game and seeing Luka, he's taking it upon himself in this game to win the game, to win it for the Mavericks. And he's saying, I will take as many shots as I can to win it. At some point, you have to do that as a superstar. And my point is that our ceiling is just exponentially higher with Kawhi on the team rather than him being off the team. So you need to get him in rhythm. And that's why last night wasn't I wasn't totally down about it, because I'm just going, I mean, it's a bad offensive game. It's going to happen. Like you're bound to have at least one of these in a series where you're going to play bad offensively. You usually get a little bit of variations of these, right? Where you get one team who shoots really well, one team who doesn't. That team wins. Then you get a variation of that, switch around, and then you're going to get a game where both teams shoot well. And who wins that game? When both teams are shooting well. And so when I was bringing up the stats of last night's game, that's why I'm kind of like, well, I don't really think the Mavericks shot poorly the last game. I thought they shot like kind of league average, right around. I would argue.
Exactly.
I was like, honestly, from 3, I kind of think that they shot a little over league average. I mean,
which means, and Ryan, that's the thing that people are not highlighting. The Mavericks didn't shoot the ball bad as people make, and that's scary. That's why I think Reed Brandon came in here and was like he didn't like the game, because you guys y'all shot the 3 ball well, y'all played with just more desperation. Even when I was looking at what adjustments did the Mavericks really make, other than really spacing the floor with Kleber and making him an outside shooter and just playing with more defensive heart. They don't have an answer for Zubac. They don't have an answer when he needs to get back into his rhythm. It's like I don't really know what the Mavericks did.
Well, and
they just made some good shots, honestly, down the stretch. Luka did come up with some big shots. Where I think the Clippers went wrong, we was up 6, 73-67, and they went on a 14-0 run, and we didn't respond pretty well to that. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't really respond pretty well in like a 4-minute stretch.
I mean, Q, they missed a lot of gimmies in that
Yeah,
stretch. I mean,
we missed. He was very. very off in that stretch
There
when
was
they
there
were
was that
taking
Westbrook
shots.
sequence again where they got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. They didn't get a shot.
Yep,
They didn't make a
yep.
shot in that. So
Yeah, but it wasn't only just Luka down the stretch. I mean, we
No,
got the.
Kyrie did hit a big shot too, but Luka
I
did finish
know,
the
but I'm
game.
going to the role players, man. PJ and Cleaver hit 2 big threes, one in the corner and one
Yeah,
in goal.
that Cleaver
And
shot was
also
a good
too, I
shot.
think
That
the
Cleaver shot was
Clippers.
a good shot.
I think the Clippers at times, um, they don't need to overreact to Luka 1-on-1. If he beats you 1-on-1 and make it a tough shot, then you tip your cap. Sometimes it's
yeah,
best
I
because
agree,
just
Moss.
stay home with the shooters and you make. Listen, man, like in this league, Ryan, teams are over helping and leaving shooters wide open, right? And I hate that defensive philosophy. Like like to me, there's better defense in college basketball than there is in the NBA because of the over helping and guys just sagging off their man literally for no fucking reason,
No,
right?
I agree.
Like,
I agree, man. I
listen,
agree.
man, if I don't have an impact on the defensive play on the weak side, I'm not just sagging off my fuck. How's the ball get across the court to that corner 3-point shooter every fucking time? Because that corner defensive player is in fucking no man's land. And so if I'm the Clippers at times, I'm not overreacting to Luka. And last point,
Moss,
last point. BJ asked a question. I don't think Dallas did anything to Kawhi Leonard, right? I think Kawhi Leonard just missed shots. I don't think they have an answer for him. And if I'm the Dallas Mavericks or if I'm the Clippers, the only thing I would say that I'm disappointing in, and I touched on this about 5 minutes ago, Ryan, is that the lack of understanding the moment between Kawhi, Ty, and Paul. Once we knew that Kawhi ain't got it going, Paul George needs to take over, bro. Because guess what? What if it is that the case that Kawhi is no longer that guy where he can do that at this level, right? I mean, you referenced 2021. I'm not sure you did that for because this is not the same Kawhi Leonard in 2024. And so I guess my question is it possible that that Paul George may need to become that guy to fucking take you guys home?
Moss, here's the thing.
Is that possible, Ryan?
I'll bring up 2 things. For your first
right.
point about the Luka thing, I think you hit the home run on that. I think the idea for Ty Lue needs to be, again, continuing to say, I will live with Luka and Kyrie taking the amount of shots they're taking. It's fine if they make them because those points are factored into to just playing them. You know that they're going to Luka and Kyrie combined together. I know that they're going to get between 50 and 60 points. I've already factored that into the score. That's already there. The question, like you've been saying, is the PJ Washington threes, the Kleber threes, all of those, the rest of those little guys that are coming in and shooting. I mean, again, they're not taking a lot of shots. PJ Washington only took 10 shots yesterday. So the question is that for those 10 shots, for Kleber's 4 shots, for the a couple of other role players, their shots, I need that to be at 30%. I need that to be at 35%. I need those guys to not hit their shots. If that's fine, we're winning. If the Clippers are winning easy.
I agree with your point, Mass, with the overreacting, playing Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I understand that, but this goes back to also Ty Lue. Ty Lue has to do a better job with who he's putting on the court. Like, if you put James Harden and Norman Powell on the court, it's going to be confusion because those are guys are going to be picked on. So a lot of the times, Ty Lue has to be better at playing guys. Like, I think Amir Kofi should have played more. He played 10
Yeah, I
minutes.
agree.
Amir Kofi should have played more. He is 6'7". He can shoot the 3 and he can defend Luka and Kyrie well. You
Amir
have to
was a
play
good
him
defender
more.
in game 1. He was
Yes,
a really good
especially in
defender.
small ball. In small ball, you cannot play James, Norman, T-Man, Kawhi. It's not gonna work. You need an extra defender, and I think Amir Kofi should play more minutes than Norman. I think we should judge Norman from quarters 1, 2, 3, and if he's not playing well, take him out because sometimes he takes up space
He
if he's
does.
not just scoring the ball.
But Moss, to your point about Kawhi, about if he's not well or not. Here's the thing. We're really going to get a good idea for Kawhi, I think, in game 3 because he's going to have legitimately 2 days off. He'll practice, or at least he'll practice in those days. I would assume he's going to take contact. He's going to practice, and we're going to have a really good idea of him, I think, in game 3. And again, let's be honest about what this is. In game 3, it's going to be a night game, which is great. It'll be in Dallas. It's on the road. The Clippers have, again, this year been a great road team. I would really expect us to see the defensive and just kind of mindset of Kawhi coming through in this game where he knows, hey, we're tied at 1-1.
Yeah.
You win game 3, you take a 2-1 lead. It's always a huge swing when you can win the swing game, right? And so I just really expect a great Kawhi Leonard in this game 3. I think he's going to be highly efficient. I think he's going to be locked in, and I think you're going to see him making a lot of the shots that he missed in that. Now, if Kawhi really struggles again, Moss, in game 3 and the Clippers lose, yeah, we can have that discussion at that point.
Okay, you know what, bro? That's fair. You know what? And you know what? That's a valid point, and that's fair. You know what I'm saying? And I thought Q Rich made a great point talking about Norman Powell. I think at times Norman Powell gets lost in the shuffle on defense. He kind of, he's not as bad as, for a long time, Clipper fans told me that Norman Powell is good on defense and he's an above average defensive player. And I kept saying, no, he's not. He does dumb shit on defense. Where's this coming from? And again, if he's not making threes, last night with the low shot clock, he made that 1-3, which was all net, which was a big shot in the moment. But if Norman Powell is not making threes, then what else does he do?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not useful on the court. No, he needs to play. The Clippers desperately need his offense.
He used to draw fouls, but he stopped doing that, right?
I would argue too that again, the way the playoffs get officiated, it's a different game for him.
Right.
He's not going to be able to guard. He's not going to be able to draw the fouls the same way he's going to draw them in the regular season. And look, I'm just going to say this right now too. Again, I agree with your points. Coffee and Man are better options defensively. And look, Amir has proven this season that he can hit the 3 at a decent clip.
Yes.
Man has been shooting the 3 at a great clip the last, 30, 40 games. So again, if I'm Ty Lue, if Norman Powell doesn't have it going, you have to go to guys that can play defense at least on the court to make sure again, like you said, play one-on-one with Luka. Just literally play one-on-one with him, because at that point you're staying home. And I'm going, if Kawhi is on PJ Washington, I'm not worried at all about PJ Washington. I'm just not. I'm just saying, great, I'm going to live with PJ Washington taking a contested jumper against Kawhi. If he makes it, he makes it. That's basketball. But schematically, that's the right move to do. That's the right
or if you choose do help or come off your man, help off Derrick Jones Jr. There's guys who the Clippers can come off of and go trap or blitz Luka, but it just seems like, at times last night, you guys just overreacted, and then now you get the Cleaver and you get the PJ Washington 3. Listen, man, a lot of things that you and Q Rich are saying, I agree with. Both teams haven't played their best. Well, I thought Clippers played a great game 1. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think Dallas has played a complete or a Dallas-like game yet in the series. And I have to be honest, I think that game is probably going to come in games 3 or 4. More than likely, game 3.
So here's my question to you, though. What does a complete game look like from Dallas in the vein of offensively? Because we just ran
I'm about to tell you, bro. I'm about to tell you.
What does that look like offensively?
Yeah, it's it's Luka and Kyrie just doing what they do. And like you said, let's just pencil them in. So when I say a true Dallas game, I'm mainly referring to the role guys, playing Derrick and those guys getting out in transition, those guys hitting shots, consistently. I know PJ went 5 for 10 last night, which was cool, but I'm talking about, as a collective, right? We haven't seen the role guys really have a complete game, yet in the series. And so I think that game is coming. So I think last night defensively, they played great. Like the last, 25 games, Ryan, the Mavs have been a top 10 defense. So you saw that last night. I'm talking about give me that defense with a good offense. I know you said they shot, damn near league average last night, but they didn't play well offensively last night. They just didn't, right? What happened was hero ball once again saved them, right? With Luka and Kyrie. It is what it is. All I'm saying is this. The Mavericks can play a lot better, just like the Clippers can play a lot better from game 2. And so we've seen the Clippers at their best. Not at their best because Kawhi didn't play game 1, but we saw them, at a high level. I don't think we've seen Dallas operate.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Tim Hardaway Jr. got injured in yesterday's game. He is their 3rd guy in line as a shot creator. And who are they going to go to outside of Tim Hardaway Jr. that's going to actually create a bucket outside of Luka and Kyrie?
Well, actually, Tim Hardaway Jr. is not asked to create buckets, right? I mean, if you look at their offense, I mean, very rare does he just have the ball in his hands and he isolates and creates a bucket. That's not what he does, bro. I mean, he's a catch.
He's
Bro,
not
you
he's
asked me,
not
I'm
their
telling you,
best.
pure rich. You asked me,
So go ahead,
I'm telling you, bro.
go ahead.
Come on, man. He's more of a catch, pump fake. You know what I'm saying? Get in the midi, jump shot. Catch the 3 ball, jump shot, bro. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. ain't no give me the ball and fucking get out my way type player. Just like Norman Powell's not that really. And so it's a valid question, though. I think that if the ankle isn't, I haven't read his stats yet today. I mean, thank God it's fucking 2 or 3 days off. That helps him out. But even if he's gimpy, I mean, he's still a fucking decoy out there. Just like Kleba being on the court as a decoy. And so again, bro, let's say Tim Hardaway Jr. is fucking limping around and he can't go. Well, it's basketball, bro. It's fucking next man up. Maybe Dante Exum or fucking, I don't know. But I mean, this is why you have a fucking bench. And so again, but you saw Dallas last night, Q Rich, without Tim Hardaway Jr. I think after the second half, they were still able to, come back from that 6-point lead, take the lead without Tim Hardaway Jr. and not his playmaking or his shot creation. So there you go, right there, bro. I mean, you saw
Moss, I just real quick. So last night the last night the Mavericks, the role players shot 31 shots. This is PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. I'm going to include Gafford in this scenario, even though he only played 9 minutes. Kleber, Hardaway, Lively, Green, and Exum. They shot a combined 31 shots. They made 13 of them. So that's about 42%. And now that's pretty good. 42%. I mean, it's not amazing, but again, I'm just going to say this. I don't know Mavs role player wise. If you're looking at if the Mavs shoot realistically, you're looking maybe it's a fluky game and they shoot 46 to 50%. Okay, that's a great role playing shooting day.
You're missing one thing, Ryan. Bro, how many fucking bunnies, lobs, layups did they fucking miss? I mean, you're talking about mainly perimeter shots.
Yeah, I was going to say, their perimeter shooting was high. Yeah, Washington and Kleber combined for 6 threes on 7 attempts. So
Hold on, Ryan. But I'm not just talking about that because we expect PJ and Gafford and some of these guys and Derrick Jones Jr. to get some dunk tip-ins, some easy fucking pocket passes, especially PJ and Gafford. We haven't seen Gafford have one good fucking moment in this fucking series.
Well, but Moss,
and they missed a lot of layups, bro, and a lot of bunnies.
But Moss, the question is though, is Gafford even playable in this series? I mean, I think that's a legitimate
and that's
question.
another fair question, bro. And as of right now, he hasn't been. And at times, I think he looks befuddled. He picks up cheap fouls. He's undersized, and I was wrong. Listen, I was wrong because I thought he would be too athletic for the. Oh, and then we didn't mention Derek Lively. So I thought that he would be too athletic between him and Lively. I thought what they both brought to the table can overcome what Zubac does, but it doesn't, bro. It just doesn't. Zubac is highly impactful when he's on the court. He rebounds well. And so that's why I say we haven't seen because Ryan, in the last 25 games, bro, Gafford has been an impactful player.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been
good. But
we haven't
Maz,
seen
that's
that
what.
because of Zubac.
Maz, that's what the whole Clipper panel was trying to explain. That's why we said we wanted to see it in the playoffs because
I agree,
in your
bro.
last 20 games, they have not played anybody that meant anything to winning a championship. They played play-in teams. They was playing decent teams, and that's what we was trying to explain to you guys.
They
And
play some of the same teams y'all play, bro. So stop it.
the Spurs.
They
was
play some of the
playing
same, bro. They play some of the same teams y'all played, man. And y'all went 17-12. Stop it, man. This is crazy. now we finna critique who they play, bro. It's the NBA, man. Listen, I agree.
Gafford,
He's been rich. I agree, bro. Gafford has been terrible. He's at times he's unplayable. And listen, bro, I was wrong about Gafford. See, I can admit that, bro. I was wrong.
So Moss, my question to you is that in the next game, what do you think? So let's just say for argument purpose here, debate purposes, Gafford cannot go. He's hurt. He cannot go. So the question then is, do you believe that they start small or do you think they start Lively?
Oh, no, bro. You have to start Lively, bro. You can't go small. Because I'm not trying to get Zubac down low quick and pick up 2 or 3 fouls on the Dallas Mavericks quick. The only saving grace that the Mavericks have going back home for games 3 and 4 is that it's obviously you're in Dallas, the crowd's behind you. I think their role guys play better. Obviously, superstars play on the road or at home, but no, you have to start Lively, and Lively has to do a better job at boxing out. And the Mavs have to gang rebound. I need Luka down there. I need fucking PJ Washington down there because if you live Zubac on an island with any of these bigs, bro, he's going to win that matchup on the glass. It just is what it is. And so they need to gang rebound and all those things. And then as the game goes along, based off Ty's rotations and the substitutions, then you bring in Cleaver to space your floor out. And so, but back spasms for Gafford, ankle injury for Tim Hardaway. I mean, hopefully, everybody's ready to go, and then, we can see what happens. But I think game 3, like you said, the swing game, whoever wins game 3, I think whoever wins game 3 is going to be in a great position, bro. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Like I said, I think you're right that Kid will start Lively. He'll start big just to start the game. But I'm really if Gafford cannot go, and again, we have no sources here. We have this is just me going off of.
I got you, bro. I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah. This is me going off of just obviously the fact that he got hurt last night and only played 9 minutes, and we'll see if he can go or not. But if he can't go, then you start Lively, and then you're obviously going to be going small with Kleber. But Kleber's going to probably play between 25 and 30 minutes.
Of course,
sure. So he's going to play a big majority of that game. So I think the chess match in the next game again. I think because we know now. I think Kid has kind of shown his hand a little bit in the vein of I don't think that there's a lot more places for Kid to go. And I think that it's going to be this situation where he's going to say, cool, I'm going to go small now. How does Ty Lue counter that? What is the counter?
So can I give you an example, bro, of what, because at first I thought Kyrie and Luka can take advantage of the high pick and roll and put Zubac in action. But if you're playing Lively or fucking Gafford, let's say you do get the switch with Kyrie Luka on Zubac, right? Well, if I'm guarding Lively or Gafford, then guess what? I don't respect their shooting, so now I can still pack the paint. This is why Cleaver is so important in this series, right? I would start running. I would go, listen, even at times, and I will at least give us a shot, Q, Rich, and Ryan, at times, play Cleaver at the 5, even with Zoo on the floor, right? And fucking run that high pick and roll and then space them out and force fucking Luka and Kyrie to go past Zoo. And then if you leave Cleaver, then boom, there it is. But then with that, then you have to contest with Zubac on the other court offensively. So I mean,
Boss, here's the question too. So if I'm the Clippers, there's 2 things you can do on that, right? On that like kind of thing. You either leave Kleber open and say we're gonna live and die with Kleber shooting threes. And if he takes 6 or 7 of them and only hits 2, that you consider that successful. That's only whatever, you only have 6 points and you're living with that. The other thing that they could do with that is that, okay, great, we want to play everybody straight up, we actually want to match up. Then the question becomes, do you play Russ? You bring in Russ and you go small there. Do you on the other end bring in Tice and go small there? I mean, like
I think that I agree with that. I think Tice needs to play in that small ball lineup. He definitely needs to get.
Tice and Cooper about the same.
You
size,
play
right?
Zoo. Well, I think
outside of
Tice is a
Zoo, I
better
think
shooter,
Tice would be
Q, Rich.
good.
But why would you not lay Zubac in though?
But no. But outside of Zoo, if they was to go small, I think Tice will be a good fit. Tice is a good rebounder. He got a good floater. He can stretch the floor and hit shots, and I think he can guard Kleber. So I think he needs to run. Mason Plumlee to me was definitely a liability yesterday, just on defense.
I think Plumlee's defense is to me a liability.
I don't think Tice rebounds. I don't think Tice rebounds the way they need him to compared to Zubac. But so let's say you do go small ball and you play Zubac, right? Well, I guess that wouldn't be small ball. But let's say if they go Cleveland at the 5, Ryan and Q Rich, and you play Zoo at the 5 still, but you have Russ in the game, you're kind of helping out Dallas, because if I'm Dallas, then I'm seeing 2 motherfuckers at Zubac at all times, and I'm going to force Westbrook to be, a shooter or fucking make a play. And so I think if Dallas does go with that Cleaver at the 5 and Zubac's in the game, I think Ty's gonna have to adjust to that and not play Westbrook, because the same question goes your way, Ryan. I think Dallas would live with Russ taking 4 or 5 threes. If he makes
Yeah.
one, then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
No, I agree
that's
with
why
you. I think,
adjustments are so important in the series, fellas.
well,
Adjusting is going to be
that's the
key.
one, Moss. That's the other question in that scenario. Like you said, is like, okay, so if the Mavs chess game is like, hey, we'll live with Russ taking the 4 to 5 threes, just like the Clippers will live with Kleber taking the 4 to 5 threes, and hoping that they only make 1, 2 at the most.
Right.
On the flip side of that, then it becomes, okay, if you take Westbrook out, you're taking obviously the defense out. And the question is, do you put Man in? Do you put Coffee in? Who do you put in that is going to kind of give that? Because to me, Coffee a little bit longer, obviously not as kind of like strong in the chest area, like when going against Luka, but like Coffee has shown to be a little bit longer, can get out and run, can shoot the three occasionally, and I think that's going to be the interesting. Like
I'm going to put in Terrence Mann. I'm going to tell you why. Is because Terrence Mann has been through a long postseason run. I'm going to take his experience over Coffee. Now, listen, I think Amir Coffee is probably, if not one of the best corner 3-point shooters in the league, and you want his shooting out there for spacing. I mean, I don't think Terrence Mann spaces it out the way he does. I mean, Terrence has had a good shooting stretch, at some point during the season. But I'm gonna go with Terrence Mann, bro. Listen, man, if there's ever a question between Terrence and Coffee, if I'm tied, I'm going with fucking Terrence Mann, is because
so Moss,
of the experience.
Here's the other question too: is that you just said, okay, so let's say we took out Westbrook, right? So Harden's had overall good shooting the last 2 games, but it's obviously we all know about his defense. Every NBA fan knows about Harden's, not always great defense. So the question then becomes, do you have a lineup where you go like Kawhi, Paul George, Man, Coffee, you know what I'm saying, like Zoo, or you get what I'm saying, or like Tice, and effectively take the ball out of a point guard's hands and keep it with PG and Kawhi and do the 2 game? Because Q, do you remember when they started doing that a little bit when they
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that because
the thing is though too, I think the ball will move a little more also because James holds on to the ball a lot. He the thing is, I like that point because James is sometimes he does this dribble thing, and he needs, like, say if he wants to bail out all that dribbling, he needs shooters to bail out too. So a lot of times Russell Westbrook is damn sure not that guy who should be passing the ball to with 4 seconds on the clock. So I think with Paul George and Kawhi running the offense without Harden, I think because you're gonna have to double team Kawhi. You're gonna have to double team. You're gonna have to double
No,
team
you're
him.
not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not the double team no goddamn Kawhi Leonard. Why are you sending for it, bro?
So Kawhi wasn't double teamed a lot during the season. He
Was he healthy during the season, bro? We're talking about right now, Q.
Right, and
Stop it, bro. What are you
Kawhi
talking about, man?
Kawhi Kawhi still
Bro,
put up
did they
15
double
points
team him last
yesterday.
night, man?
So Kawhi didn't
Answer
score
the
15
question,
points
bro.
last night.
Did
He
they
missed.
hey, Ryan, did the Mavericks last night consistently double team Kawhi last night?
Yeah, it's
no,
Moss,
they did not, bro.
Yeah,
No, they
so
did
Moss,
not.
to your point,
BJ just showed you a clip where Luka was guarding him and he had 3
I
defenders
just said consistent,
behind
bro.
him.
You're not
What do you
listening,
mean?
bro. I said consistently double team him. If BJ showed one fucking play, then okay, cool, that's one play. But the Mavs last night did not guard him.
Mass, if Kawhi comes more aggressive, if Kawhi comes more aggressive in game 3, you're gonna have to double team
Why
him.
would I double
Kawhi
team
was
Kawhi
passive in the
Leonard
first
for?
half of that game yesterday.
Why would I
you help the Mavs out.
Why
You're
would I
gonna
double
help
team Kawhi
Yeah.
Leonard for? And he ain't played in the goddamn month. His shot looked fly as hell last night, bro. Kawhi Leonard has to make Dallas respect his offensive game, bro. Up to this point, in this moment, they're not double teaming him yet. Not saying they can't, but why would they right now, Q-Rich? He hasn't earned that right to get double teamed yet, bro. He looked fucking horrible last night offensively to me in certain moments. His legs looked flat. What are you talking about, bro?
Mass, I'm telling you, game 3,
Crazy,
bro.
man.
Game
God damn.
game 3 and game 4, he will be way more aggressive. And if you think PJ Washington one-on-one or Luka or they don't double team him, they're gonna be in trouble. I'm telling
Well,
you that
being
right now.
aggressive is one thing. Being healthy and being efficient and making shots is
But
something
Mass,
different.
we just agreed.
He
The
was
man is not
aggressive
hurt.
last night, bro.
The man is not hurt.
Hold on,
The man is not hurt.
Ryan. Some would say if you miss a month of basketball and PG has it going, and then you come back and you shoot 17 shots and he shoots 14, some people would deem that him being aggressive last night. And how'd that work out for him last night, bro?
Well, and Mass,
Come on, man.
I mean, Mass, out of
Stop it, Q
17,
Rich.
out of
Hold on,
set,
to
but
your
Mass,
point.
out of 17 shots, if you settle for 5 threes and you miss those 5 threes,
I don't,
I
bro.
mean,
It doesn't matter, bro.
what do you mean?
Being aggressive is you taking shots. You're being aggressive. It's not just you being aggressive playing downhill. I mean, it's him taking shots. What are you talking about? Go ahead, Ryan. Q Rich, man. Stop it.
I
Man.
was
You
just,
need
I was,
work,
I
man.
was just going to say that. So, firstly, Kawhi didn't have a good shooting game last night. We all know that. Him shooting 0 of 5 from 3 is a complete anomaly. That never happens.
Well, I agree with that too.
He's
Come on.
one of the most efficient 3-point shooters in the league. He shoots damn near 40.
But he hasn't been the last month, Ryan, or 2.
This is his first game back, Mass.
The last month,
This is his first game, Mass. You got to give it some time. You got to give it the next game in game 4. This was a rhythm game for him, and he still scored 15 points.
Ryan, you have a point saying that, but Kawhi's last, like, I think 20, 25 games from distance, he's been that good. He hasn't been good shooting threes.
After the All-Star break, Mass, he struggled. Yes, I will.
Right.
I will agree with that.
I mean, what is Q Rich talking about, man?
So,
Go ahead,
so,
Ryan.
but
My
I'm
bad,
gonna,
bro.
but I'm gonna
Cut
say
you
this.
off,
So,
man.
in general, though, his body
Q
of
Rich
work,
is a little delusional at times, but go ahead.
so Mass, his body of work, though, and especially in the first 40 plus games this season, he was absolutely phenomenal from 3. I mean,
He sure was.
Yeah,
He was like mid-40s. Remember, he's right behind
Yeah.
Kevin Durant at one point.
Yeah, he was insane.
Grayson Allen.
So here's the thing. Do
But
I
that was
expect
40
him,
games ago.
do I
Who cares?
expect him to shoot 5 of 5 from 3? No. I expect him, though, if he takes 5 threes, I expect him to make at least 2.
I don't, bro. Now with those legs right now, I don't, Ryan. I don't, bro. He has no legs, Ryan.
He got 2 more. He got 2 days off until game 3 Friday, which is at 9 p.m.
Month off. Hold on, bro. Hold on. He just had a
Do
fucking month off.
you know Kawhi had no physical contact until yesterday. He felt
What does that mean,
he
bro?
said
What does that mean? What does that
I'm
mean?
gonna tell you what it means. He said in a press conference that we all heard, I am feeling good. I have to be better, and I will be better. So I am expecting him to be better game 3 and game 4, and he will be much
But why are you making it? Hold on. Why are you making an excuse for his legs when he's had the last month off, and within the last 2 weeks they've been ramping him up? He's been doing basketball shit, so his legs should be good to go, right? He has no lift, Ryan, on his 3-point shot, Ryan. I don't want Carlin taking no threes no more right now, bro, right? Until he gets his mid-range jump shot under control. And then you creep out to the 3-point line, bro. Him shooting 5 threes yesterday, the shots weren't even fucking close. Half the fucking threes were damn near fucking air balls, grazing the fucking rim.
Mash, you're not wrong. Nobody's saying you're wrong.
I'm
not disagreeing with you, but Mash, this is your first game seeing the man back, right? In a month. And he did pretty well for his first game back
No, he
in
did not
a month.
do pretty well. No, he did not.
Yes,
do
he
pretty
did.
well.
He still had 50.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
No,
he
did
did.
not.
And he probably didn't have a good first half.
No, he did not do fucking
We
pretty well.
lost by 3, and the man still
I'm
didn't.
talking about his
Come on,
game,
stop
bro.
it,
Now
bro.
you lose
Stop
by
it,
3
Mash.
points. His
Mash,
game.
stop it.
His
Come
game.
on, bro. Stop it, bro.
Ryan, you think Kawhi last night had a fucking good game last night and he did pretty well?
He had a decent, pretty
I'm
well.
asking
Yes.
Ryan, bro.
Come on, bro.
Because Ryan will be honest on here.
You acting like he had a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, again, because we hold Kawhi to such high standards,
Right.
it was a bad game for him.
Thank you, sir.
In his terms, is it a bad game for most NBA players? No. So yeah,
But Ryan, we're holding Kawhi to his standard. Fucking Thomas told me, because I said Thomas, when he comes back, he gonna be rusty and blah blah blah. Guess what Thomas says? He's Kawhi Leonard. Next point. That's what he said to me. So now when Kawhi comes back and he doesn't play well, and then I fucking bring it up, now it's an excuse. Which one is it?
Yeah, no, and here's the thing, in Mass too. Here's the thing: the Kawhi played, I thought, really good defensively. I thought he was honestly like there defensively. He had some steals, he had some blocks. I thought he was locked in defensively. It's just clear that he didn't have his legs under him. I mean, it was just super clear that he was, when the game got going into the later stages, he just wasn't as efficient. Now, to be fair, at that point, then attack the rim. Because he attacked the rim against Kyrie, and Kyrie did one of the dumbest fouls ever that was overturned.
Yeah, I saw
that,
bro.
But if I'm Kawhi, then I'm going, okay, great. I'm going to attack the rim now. And here's the one thing about the Clippers that always frustrates me: Paul George and Kawhi Leonard can shoot jumpers like the best of them. They're great jump shooters. They're NBA players. They're fantastic. But
yeah, of course
when games
get down sometimes to these things where you're not hitting the three and you're not hitting your jumpers. For Kawhi and PG, I just wish they would stop settling sometimes and just attack the rim.
Of
Because
course.
when they
I agree
both
with that.
attack the rim, when they both do it, the team is damn near unbeatable.
Or
Because
get to the free throw line, Ryan. You feel me? Or put pressure on the
yeah,
refs.
that's
to
what I'm
make the
saying. Is
call.
that they're great free throw shooters and they're great finishers. Normally, they're always finishing at the rim. So that's I want to see. I would love if you're right, Mass, and Kawhi doesn't have it going and his jump shot is off in the beginning of a game, let's say game 3 or game 4. Just start attacking the rim. That's what I would be doing. Just go at them. Because here's the thing.
I agree.
The intensity for the Clippers in game 2 wasn't there like it was in game 1, where they literally attacked them at every single, in those first 2 quarters, especially, they just said, we don't care who's in at center position. We're going at you and we're going to go at you, keep going at you. And in game 2, they were like, we're going to settle. We're going to settle.
I know Andre's on here, and I know BJ wants Andre to go, so I'll make this quick.
All right.
There's a certain force and there's a certain physicality that Kawhi plays with. Him just being strong and using his body and fucking taking that hard dribble inside the paint, rising up and shooting, right? I'm not sure you can get that back this quick or that quick. So QH is saying, games 3 and 4, he's going to be just fine. I'm not sure he can find that, what I'm talking about, Ryan, that quick, that explosiveness, that hard dribble pull-up. I mean, I'm listen, even yesterday when he did that move that he likes to do a few times, the shot was flat. The ball went in, though, but it wasn't like, with like brute force, like he's accustomed to playing with. And that's my worry, is that I don't think he can get back to that moment in this series. So maybe next series, but his body is not ramped up to that yet. Is that fair? Yes or no? Is that fair? Ryan.
No, I think, Mass, I think that's fair. I mean, again, like I said, you gotta, the flow of the offense to me has to be there at the start of the game, and you have to take the shots that are there in the flow of the offense and what the defense is giving you. But at a certain point in the game, like last night, I like that Kawhi went to the rim and he got fouled, but like that was by necessity because they didn't want to settle for a 3. My thing is just in the fourth quarter, man, if it's a 5-point game, if it's, within 10 and the jumpers aren't falling, I want to see Kawhi and Paul George go to the rim. That's what I want to see. I want to see them attack the rim and say, foul me, put me on the line, and let me make free throws, because that always helps, dude. It stops the clock and you're getting free points. We know those guys are 88, 90% free throw shooters. So I'll let Andre go, though.
Yeah, let's go to Bubba real quick. But I want to say one quick thing from what Bubba said. So the whole physicality thing, I think we can all agree that physically, Kawhi is not Kawhi. Physically. But this is a mental game. I can guarantee you Kawhi don't need to dominate the game physically. He can simply just pick you apart mentally. You guys remember in the practices, he participated in parts of the practice. That was the mental part. That there's a different aspect of the game other than physical, taking contact, getting hit, all that stuff. These players at this level, they outthink the opposition. So even if he's not 100 physically, mentally he can still pick apart the Dallas Mavericks. Just his presence alone. Look at the Clippers. Just his presence there, you automatically have to acknowledge his presence. Just like the Mavericks have to acknowledge Kawhi being there. That alone with itself before you even touch the basketball floor. So I still know he'll be effective in games 3 and 4 to the point where they can get wins both games. So as long as they do that, then the job is what they came to Dallas to do. So I just want to bring that point up. But go ahead, Bubba.
Yeah, salute to BJ, salute to Mr. Mass, salute to Ryan and and KJ. Yeah, salute to all y'all. But I think the Clippers definitely had a
Stop
chance.
playing with me, boy.
Yo, don't call me no boy, bro.
Yeah, don't call me no KJ.
Bro, you KJ. But anyway,
boy.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the Clippers did have a chance to win this game in the fourth quarter, but I just think that some guys were not as aggressive in the fourth. Like Paul George. Paul George was not aggressive, and Harden was not aggressive in terms of finding his own shot. Now, Harden did make a couple plays. That huge that huge assist that he had finding Russ on the far wing, that was a huge find. You know, that was great decision making from him as well. And finding Norman Powell on the corner for that huge desperation three, that was huge too. But in terms of him being aggressive to get his own shot, he wasn't really being aggressive. And on the other side, the Mavs was going at him down the stretch. And I think Ty Lue, this is the only time where I have to agree with Thomas, because I think Ty Lue, in a sense, kind of lost in the game because he needed some defense on the court, but he didn't put the defense and only played Terrence Mann like 27 seconds in that fourth quarter, which at that point, it was just like, it was over at that point. But the Clippers still lost by 3 points. And I'm seeing some people gassing up Luka's defense. I mean, I'm one of the biggest Luka fans on these YouTube streets. I'm pushing the Luka agenda, but I mean, the defense, y'all gassing it up too much, because I mean, yeah, this Kawhi's first time since March 31st, so that's almost a month ago. So I don't think you expect somebody to, you know, not play from a regular season game and then put them in the playoffs and expect them to drop 30. Like, nah, that's not how it works. But he did get to spots that he wanted to get to. He shot the ball. I mean, Mr. Maz, you said it was flat. Yeah, it was flat, but I mean, he just missed some jumpers that he usually makes. And I think that coming in this game 3, he would be much better than he was in game 2. But I still got Clippers in 6. The Mavs did steal one on the road, so the Clippers should look to win one on the road as well as they go into Dallas for game 3. But I just think that PG sometimes has to go to the basket, like Ryan was saying, because I mean, he has a mismatch on him. He has Derrick Jones Jr., who, I mean, he's athletic, but he's so small, and I think PG can definitely drive on him and get to the basket and get to any spot that he wants, and he needs to limit those jump shots. But I just think that the Clippers, they'll definitely be fine. PG has to be more aggressive. Yeah, sometimes he gets jump shot happy, he makes them, but I mean, in this series right here, you have to attack the Mavs interior because they don't really have any shot blockers. They have Daniel Gafford, who's undersized center, and Derek Lively. That's my youngest shot to him. He grew up 30 minutes away from me, but he's a rookie, so he's not really that great as a rim protector. But yeah, I think the Clippers need to attack more. When the jumpers are open, just shoot them and just hope for the best results, in my opinion.
I agree with you, Andre. I think it's all there. And look, that's not to say that the Mavs can't win another game. I said my original pick on the series was Clippers in 6. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they split games 3 and 4 in whatever order. But I like I said, I think the mismatches in this series are just very apparent for the Clippers. And I like them to win this series still in either 5 or 6 games. I don't think the series goes 7. But you know, we'll see at the end of this year. But like I said, I'm penciling in the Kyrie Luka points. My other question now just becomes who else is contributing on the offensive end for Dallas?
It was good, everybody. Salute, bro.
Yeah, not really. I mean, they don't really have a third option. There's not a single third option that you can, you know, say that is really contributing to them. Now, PJ Washington did hit a couple of threes, but I don't think he's a third option in this series.
So you don't think Tim Hardaway Jr. is considered a third option? I mean, I know he has a bad ankle, and I'm sure he's going to play in Game 3. I mean, he hasn't played well yet, but I mean, he's been a man off the bench. I mean, I compare him to Norman Powell, right? I mean, he's a guy who gives you about 15 a game. So why would you say that they don't have a legitimate third option?
I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase it. A consistent third option.
Up to this point, right?
I think they become third options at home, but on the road, they're non-existent. Well, at home, that's a key thing. The Mavs, that's when there's guys going to probably have an opportunity to become a third option.
Right.
But it's going to be a decision. I think Ty Lue going to have to go with defense. If you want to just smack Dallas early, you got to go with defense. If you want to keep them around, i.e. game 2, and might have a game where it gets to the bottom of the 4th, and it comes down to, you know, flip a coin, then you roll the offense. But if you put defense out there, the Mavericks, they're shut down defensively.
And we honestly been playing. We've actually been really defending Luka and Kyrie pretty well in these past 2 games that we played. So I mean, I'm pretty solid with our defense.
But you know what it is, bro? Come down to it, bro. In the fourth quarter, bro. I like Kawhi, Paul George, Terrence Mann defensively, but they're going after James Harden, bro. Look at it last night. They went after him. Kyrie and Luka said, pick and roll. If James Harden switch, we going after him. ISO, clear out. You want to go after Harden every single time. And they went after Harden, and that's how they got their rhythm. That's how they got hot in the fourth quarter. It was Harden because you know what it was? the the uh the Clippers didn't want to switch Harden onto Luka and Kyrie, and they was having miscommunications and having breakdowns. I think it was one play where Russ was on Kyrie and Harden was on Luka, and Russ went to double Luka, and it was just an easy swing pass to Kyrie at the top of the key, easy three, because they was going after Harden. If Harden can't hold his own defensively, y'all cook, bro. And last night they went after Harden. So if he can't hold his own, y'all cook, bro.
Well, Ken. So Ken, here's my question to you because we talked about this a little bit. We were saying, so let's just theoretically say you took Westbrook and Harden both off the floor. You played with no point guard, and you had PG, Kawhi, Mann, Coffee, Zubac, and you had those five on the floor. And because again, there's been games this season. The Clippers did it more when they didn't have a true point guard a couple of years ago. But there's been games this season where Harden missed, where they would play off of Kawhi and PG together, and they'd play those two guys, and they'd go the pick and roll with them, and they do that together with them. I really think that might be utilized at some point in this series, because I think that, like you're saying, if they continue to attack Harden and they fear that Westbrook doesn't have the spacing necessary, that they can go to that, because at that point you have four true shooters on the floor with the center. And even if Dallas is playing with a small ball lineup, you've got height on all of them.
You need Westbrook in the series, bro, because you need somebody who's gonna attack the rim and push the pace, especially coming off the bench. You need Westbrook, bro. Harden, I don't know, bro. If Harden's not gonna give you anything offensively, which he had a pretty good game in the first three quarters, he just had a bad fourth quarter, bro. I mean, on both sides of the ball, bro. He had a pretty bad fourth quarter. I mean, I know he hit some shots, but like, I mean, some of them are wide open. But in the first three quarters, he had a good first three quarters, but the fourth quarter, I feel like he had a bad fourth quarter, especially defensively for y'all.
I
What
don't
you
think
think, BJ?
really Luka did anything to. I mean, when you say hunting Harden, do you think, because all Luka did was take the same shots he took a game when he just made them? It wasn't like he was getting past them. It wasn't like he was. See, targeting is when you know you have a mismatch no matter what you do. Zubac on Luka, that's considered targeting. But other than Luka taking them step back threes, I mean, what if he had missed those threes? Would it be considered targeting? I don't see really where Luka just didn't do anything different from game one to game two.
It was plenty. It was plenty of times that I did see though in that fourth quarter where, say, if Kawhi or Paul George was guarding Luka, like a screen wouldn't really even be set, and James Harden will already be on Luka. So I just don't know. Like, I just think we fell really victim to that switch defense, and I don't think we should do that. That's not smart.
I don't think so either. I don't think we need to double Luka at all. It just put Terrence Mann or Kawhi on him. And that I said it earlier. I said, let PG get off in the game yesterday, and let Kawhi just guard Luka, because Luka don't even want the ball when Kawhi's near him.
But BJ, I'm curious though. What do you think about that concept though? Because I do feel like at some point during the playoffs, we're going to see a potential lineup with no point guard out there for the Clippers. And you're going to see Kawhi and PG effectively doing the pick and roll with each other, and then having those two shooters, and Zubac on the floor.
Great question, and I think y'all hit the like button, y'all come in, but it just comes down to Ty Lue, if he's going to try it out offense or defense. If you put in T-Man, Coffee, Kawhi, PG, and Zubac, that's a defensive lineup, and when you have a defensive lineup, you get scores like this. And I've seen this not just with the Suns. I've seen this with plenty of games where Harden's not playing, and you run the offense through Kawhi and PG, and you just say, okay, we're just going to lock these dudes down. You can't pick on nobody on our team. Then what are they going to do?
But what about, so all right, if you don't have a playmaker in there, are you concerned about turnovers?
I mean, no, because we're gonna make them turn the ball
I,
over.
I mean, I think Ken, that's the only thing I can say to that is this, is that PG can make some boneheaded turnovers from time to time. But here's my question in the vein of this series and in the playoffs, what we've seen is that normally what happens when those two guys get out there is that PG will walk the ball up, or man will walk the ball up, and then they'll throw to Kawhi in the post. And then they'll do either have Kawhi go one-on-one, and if Kawhi gets doubled, which has been normal this season, he'll throw it out of the post, and then they'll swing to find the next open man. And the only thing I really like about that lineup is that at that point you have the necessary spacing, and you also have the size advantage against the Mavs. And I think that might be the key a little bit to this series, is that you don't have anyone, because at that point, Kawhi and PG are guarding, or sorry, Man and Coffee, to maybe depending on who's guarding Luka and whoever. But at that point, you have a very good defensive lineup out there, and you also have a very good offensive lineup out there, I would argue too, because you have Kawhi, PG, and then Man and Coffee, or you can throw the ball into Zoo in this scenario too. I just like all the options there, offensively and defensively.
Those are three options that the Mavericks have no answer for: Kawhi, PG, and Zubac. See, Zubac, Brandon said it. That's the dark horse. If you feed him, see, the thing with Luka is, if the game starts off good for him, he tends to have a good game. If it starts off bad for him, he tends to have a bad game. He starts to complain with the refs. He starts to argue with the officials. Yesterday was a presumably good game for the Mavericks in starting because Zubac got off the floor early. And not only that, Mason Plumlee didn't help at all. So obviously that gets Luka into his mode. I think he had 7 points within the first minutes of the first quarter. But I think Zubac is a mismatch they can't deal with. And I think PG is somebody they can't deal with. And I think Kawhi will be somebody they can't deal with when he gets, of course, to his normal self. But I just think it's more about the Clippers and Ty Lue, more so basically doing the right things and putting the right lineups out there. In my personal opinion, too, that if I look at what the Mavericks did yesterday, what did they really do other than just play harder than us, and Kyrie and Luka coming into the fourth and hitting those 3-point shots? Is that really an adjustment, though?
Yeah, I mean, BJ, I think you're totally nail on the head here in terms of we know what Kyrie and Luka are going to give to the Mavs. Again, we know that they're going to take a majority of the shots. They're going to take, I would argue, they're going to take probably around 55 to 70% of the shots. And so the question then becomes, okay, great, you're going to live with them shooting, probably around 40 to 45% most of the time from those shots. Maybe they shoot a little less or a little more depending on what the game is. So they're combining between whatever. I think last night they had 62 or something. The night before they had 60 or 64. So I'm like, okay, you're living with that. You're saying, yeah, this is great. Where are the other 40 points coming from? That's the question, is where's the other 40 to 50 points coming from? And if the Clippers have a good offensive night, because I would argue they didn't have a good offensive night at all yesterday, where the points are coming from, because it's been there all season. They've been spaced. You have guys contributing. And again, this was with a pretty low-key, not great Kawhi Leonard game last night. So again, I just would argue, and a horrible Norman Powell game last night. So I'm just looking at this, if the Clippers are shooting the ball at their normal or semi-normal clip of around 40, let's just say 40%, 42%, and the Mavs are still around their 44%. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I mean, again, they were at almost 44% last night, and they scored 96 points. So we'll see how it goes. I just don't like I don't think there's a consistent third option for the Mavs. So even if you have Kyrie and Luka's points, where are the rest of the points coming from? The role players have to effectively combine for close to 40 points.
If you look at the numbers with the role players yesterday with the Mavericks, Derek Jones, PJ Washington, Max Kleber, all of them shot efficient from the field. I'm not banking on Derek Jones Jr. to continuously shoot like that. He's never been a shooter. PJ Washington, yeah, I think he can shoot the ball, but I think he's also, hot and cold at times as well. And then Max Kleber, who's a space out 3-point shooter. So the fact of the matter, a lot of uncharacteristic things happened yesterday. Even with that being said, the Clippers were up in the fourth quarter. And I think one of the biggest is our IQ as a team at times. We do not shut the door when it needs to be shut in certain situations. We relax. We don't take the bull by the horns at times. And even with Luka and Kyrie, both inefficient yet again from the field. Like I said, I remember Luka giving us 40-point game performances. When is that going to happen?
I mean, to be fair, he scored 32 last night, and didn't he score 30 plus the game before? So, I mean, it's not like he's that off of the 40. My point is just,
28.
My point is just, as a Clipper fan, I'm okay with Luka getting the 40. I'm not worried about Luka getting the 40. That's fine. That's factored into to this series. What the other aspect of this all is, again, is are we going to get points from PJ Washington? What did he have yesterday? He had 18 points, right? Yeah. So are we going to get 18 points out of PJ Washington? Are we going to get at least double-digit points out of Derrick Jones? Are we, is Maxi Kleber going to shoot, 60-something% from three? That's the questions. I mean, those are the questions. If you hold PJ Washington to 12 points, the Clippers are going to win the rest of these games. Like that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah, they gotta. I don't know what the mindset is. Though. Are they going down to take both games? Or they're going out there to split? Because
I mean, BJ, the Clippers have been such a good road team this year that I really wouldn't be shocked at all if they got both. I'm not exact. They've been a better road team this year than they've been a home team. I mean, they really have. I feel like they play with more intensity on the road than they do at home.
I agree.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked. I know this is crazy, but I originally picked the series in 6. I really wouldn't be shocked if the Clippers won both, lose game 5, and then win game 6.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I'm about to say. See, but that goes to why I say this is who they are. When things are against them, they tend to come out knowing that things are for them. They drop them for whatever reason. But I'll be more comfortable if they took both games and then close it back at home. But it's kind of like I said, and Tyson said, "What adjustments can the Clippers make?" For one, keep Zubac on the court. Once Zubac left that court last night, that changed that was the crux that really Dallas had no answer for in game 1. That they ain't gonna have him in the rest of the series. Another adjustment is that Kawhi Leonard continuously gets his legs under him. Another adjustment is that making more of a defensive lineup than an offensive lineup. There's a lot of things I can play with that's why I say the Clippers players and the coach wasn't even tripping about this loss. I wasn't tripping about the loss. I still gave the Mavericks credit for what they did, but I didn't come in here thinking, oh, damn, we down or we tied the game 1-1. Like the Mavericks I didn't come in with that type of mindset at all.
I got to bounce, BJ, but I'm going to just end it here and just say, again, Luka, great game last night in terms of hitting shots in the clutch. I thought the Mavericks played, like you said, they played good defense, more defensive intensity. I still really like the Clippers in this series. I still think they have the matchup advantages. I think they have the scoring advantages with the amount of scores that they do have on the team. And it's just like you said, it's just going to be about figuring out what are the lineups that we can continually play. And that's why it's a 7-game series, right? And that's why it's game to game. It's the chess match of matching other guys with other guys. And I firmly believe Ty Lue will get that done. And like I said, my original pick was 6. I still think that's probably going to be what it is just because that's how the Clippers roll. But I do believe that the Clippers win this in at least 5 or 6 games. I think that's how it's going to go.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming through, Ryan. We're about to end very soon anyway. But let me go to my man E. What's good, E?
What's good with y'all, man? Salute, BJ.
Salute, bro.
Shit, man. I was leaving around. What I've been saying is like, it's not a probably or maybe for me. The Clippers are gonna go get 2 games in Dallas, bro. Dallas doesn't match that well with the Clippers. Like the Clippers didn't even really play to their full capabilities yesterday, and still almost somehow could have won the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Luka hits some shots, but Luka takes a high volume of shots and at times takes bad rhythm breaking shots for his own club because he likes to do the dribble step back. That's not conducive to winning a championship, bro. And Luka, it was one point later in that game, like in the clutch, they took Luka out of the game. He was tired. Luka can't last with teams who run and attack him every play. So, and as far as the coaching goes, you can say it's a, you know what I'm saying, it's a chess match, whatever, but I don't really think it is because it's nothing else that Jason Kidd can really do. Like, he can't turn to anybody else. Tim Hardaway Jr. got injured. I don't know his status for the next game, but he did get injured. And even if he is able to play, he's going to be hobbled, and he ain't been giving you anything anyway. So, who you going to turn to? Josh Green? He just coming back from injury. He missed like the last couple of games of the season because he was injured. And you expect him to give you production in the playoffs? We know he's going to give you energy. Derrick Jones Jr. is just an athletic wing who can defend. Can he make shots? Can he create shots? No. Is he a great rebounder? Not really. You know what I'm saying? He can't get rebounds because he's long and athletic. But would he rather be down there banging with people? No. Daniel Gafford really didn't see the floor yesterday. Not from my vantage point on what I was watching. Maybe he did and started, but it looked like it was going with Derek Lively because they thought maybe Derek Lively was the answer to Ivica Zubac, which he wasn't because you know why? They didn't go to Ivica Zubac in the post like they should have, like the last game. So my thing is, if it's not broke, then don't fix it, bro. Sometimes Ty Lue gets in his own mind where he feel like he got to make it a super adjustment when he really don't have to because it's nothing that Dallas can do. If Luka and Kyrie don't shoot amazing from the floor, bro, and a high percentage, which I know they're not because they are high volume shooters and they take a lot of jump shots, then they have no shot because Luka and Kyrie aren't your strongest defenders. So now it's just like I have to rely on two players, but I know they're not going to give me none on the other end. They might try, but they're always at a disadvantage because that's not who they've been historically. So the thing was for me, he took Terrence Mann out. When Terrence Mann and Russell Westbrook is on the floor at the same time, they cause problems for the opposing team's backcourt. So if you're going to go small, I am not going small with a Norman Powell. He's your weakest defender. He's one of your best shot makers. But guess what? You had enough shooting and shot makers. You got Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Terrence Mann and Russell Westbrook capable of making certain shots. Terrence Mann is definitely a good rebounder at his position, along with Russell Westbrook. They can keep plays alive and get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George extra shots. You got Paul George, who's a good, tough shot maker, tough shot taker. And then you got Kawhi Leonard, who's a good, tough shot maker, tough shot taker. So you don't really need Norman Powell on the court. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to give you defense in a situation where you really need defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you could, if you're gonna go slow, I'm going Paul George, Kawhi, Amir Coffey. Am I missing somebody? Oh no, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Terrence Mann. Yeah, I forgot James Harden, capable shot maker, tough shot taker. So you know, it's like when he put Norman Powell. This might not be a series for Norman Powell. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because you ain't even put PJ Tucker on the court yet. That's another body that you can throw and tire Luka out. So really, if you want to go to a chess match, the Clippers are going to always be playing chess, and then the Dallas Mavericks are going to be playing checkers. And with checkers, it's not really a thinking man's game, but chess is a thinking man's game. So strategically, it's nothing that Dallas can really do. They don't have anybody else that they can turn to on that bench. If you want to go to JJ Hardy, what is he going to give you? Come on, man. Like, you have to be realistic, bro. Clippers are going to go down there and handle business. Kawhi Leonard know he played a bad game. He got good shots. He got shots that he normally make. But guess what? He didn't have his legs under him. We already know why. He ain't played in there a month. It's hard to say, okay, I'm going to come back in the playoff game, and I'm going to expect to be the same player I've been all season. No, bro. You get your rhythm back. And he got his win. He knows what it feels like. Okay, boom, playoffs. Okay, Boom, different energy. But I feel good after the game. Okay, next game I get 2 days rest. Okay, I'm gonna get my body right, get my mind right, get in the gym, get some shots up. When we get to Dallas, it's Kawhi time.
I thought I was tripping when I said that. I said the same exact thing. I agree.
You have to keep
I
it
agree.
100. Kawhi. I don't understand why we keep everybody be on Kawhi. Kawhi is one of the greatest players that we ever seen, bro. It is what it is. The injury and the low management, if you want to call it all of that, which I think it's a little bit deeper than injuries for me because I think a little bit differently. But Kawhi Leonard can change a whole series instantly because he's a two-way player. He's way better offensively than he was when he was with San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. We've seen it happen, bro. Like Kawhi Leonard is a lot of people's kryptonite when he's on the court doing what he does. Now, when he's not on the court, it's a different story, obviously. And that's what happened when you take one of the greatest players off of the court. The game will change sometimes. It either change, you know what I'm saying? It either change going backwards, and it either change going forwards, or it will stay the same because the way you build the team around him. So this Clipper team reminds me a lot of the 2019 Toronto Raptors, where even though Kawhi did load manage, if you want to call it that, throughout the season, they still stayed the course and were able to win and play very productive basketball without him. So when you inserted him back, it's like riding a bike. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It was just clockwork. And that's exactly what we seen in game one from the Clippers. It was clockwork. Everybody was comfortable in playing without. They know they can play without Kawhi. They're great players, Hall of Fame players too. You know what I'm saying? So you put Kawhi back in there, and then it's just like, they'll get their rhythm back. But I thought the turnovers and probably playing Norman Powell a little too much and going away from the post with Zubac kind of killed them, and they had a lot of unforced turnovers. Those are possessions. It's the playoffs. You can't play regular season basketball in the playoffs. You got to play playoff basketball in the playoffs. You can't be loose with the ball. You can't be trying to force passes. You have to get qualities and good looks at the basket every time. At least give yourself a chance to win. So with that right there, that's where I thought they kind of messed up. It just seems like they were going through the motions thinking that they can coast to a win. You know what I'm saying? But then thought Dallas wasn't going to continue to play Dallas-style basketball. Luka and Kyrie still going to be Luka and Kyrie. That's fine. And like I was saying on another stream yesterday, I would force Luka into just playing one-on-one. I'm not helping. I'm not letting the other guys for Dallas even gain any little one bit of confidence. PJ Washington had all the confidence in the world because he's seen the ball go in the basket a couple of times, and they were great looks. I'm not giving you great looks. I'm gonna force you to be a basketball player and do some shit that you're uncomfortable doing, putting the ball on the court, trying to create your own shot. Maybe you throw a turnover. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving Derrick Jones Jr. wide open looks. Maxi Kleber capable. He hit a big three yesterday late in that game. I'm not giving those guys those looks because guess what? They will kill you. It's the NBA, bro. Anybody can score when they shoot a wide open shot, and you be like, "Damn, you made it." I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, in the NBA for a reason, bro." Like, come on, man. Everybody made wide open shots. What happened when it's a hand in your face? Because you know why? Those players don't practice shooting shots, difficult shots with hands contested. They practice shooting wide open shots so they're more comfortable. That's how the NBA works. Only superstar players practice shooting shots under duress like that. Practice.
He basically echoed the same thing. We don't need a double Luka.
You don't need to double Luka.
Put Terrence Mann on him like he's been always on him last 3 games. It's like when you start doubling, then because Luka can pass the ball,
right?
And you get other guys involved, and they get shots. That's when you have a domino effect of different problems. Like this dude was saying 40. When is he gonna have 40 points? I guarantee you, he ain't gonna have 40 points on this team. The personnel is not this. They think this is the same personnel from the playoffs a few years ago when they had Reggie Jackson, Landry Shamet, Rondo, and small undersized guards, bro. They no longer on this team. Luka's not giving us no 40 points no more. That ain't happening.
But BJ, guess what?
BJ,
Even if they Even if they do score even if he does score 40 points, it's going to be on a high volume of shots. That's going to take the rhythm away from everybody else on the team. I would live with Luka getting 50 and everybody else in single digits. That means you lose. Think about it, bro. If you play the law of averages, play the law of averages, bro. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. What's good, Lonnie?
Oh man, you know it's not good, man. I told you how disgusted I was gonna be, man, if the Clippers lost. But you know, I guess the answer to the question was, did Kawhi mess up the flow? Yes, but was it? You know, it was supposed to happen. We had to get him back in game shape, I guess. You know, I kind of heard somebody earlier talking about I'm hearing about the doubling of Luka and and James Harden failing. Like, what else could he have done on them shots? Like, he did everything but foul that man. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like I said, man. The game flow was all. We hoping to go to Dallas and maybe put one out of Dallas or beat them in Dallas both games. Because like I said, it was needed for him to get back in game flow, but it wasn't there.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this question. So, what y'all feel like? How the series is gonna go the next two games, or next game? How you think next game gonna go?
I think Houston ain't gonna come out from the gates and take the crowd out of the game early, and then Dallas gonna be playing catch up. In my opinion, I think Luka might hit a couple threes. Maybe Kyrie hit you with a crossover and get the crowd going. But I think the Clippers are going to control the tempo, and I think that you're going to see a different Kawhi, and you're going to see a different Paul George. And I just think that it's no pressure on. All the pressure is on Dallas because everybody is picking Dallas to win the series. It's no pressure on the Clippers, in my opinion. I think they can just go out there and play free and just play hard and do what they've been doing because they've still been playing solid D. They only scored 97 points, 96 points, you know what I'm saying, to win the damn game. Like, that's not a lot of points. That's playoff style basketball. If you can get a team to score that below 100, bro, you give yourself a great chance to win a game. Dallas ain't been playing good. The Clippers played really good the first game, and in the second game, they kind of played down to the level of the competition. But I just think that the Clippers are going to control the game, in my opinion, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that they're gonna come in and just bust them in the mouth. That's what I think gonna happen in game 3. So, but anybody else got something to say before we get ready to end it, man? I know it's been about a few hours on, so.
Yeah, I got this. Can you hear me? Yeah, I got a last question. So you said the Clippers got to play Luka 1-on-1. You trust playing in 1-on-1 would be the best because I mean Luka's one of the best ISO players in the game.
When has he been doing that? This series, when has he been doing it the last few games against the Clippers?
I mean, he's one of the highest, in terms of volume, one of the highest ISO players in the game, and he's pretty efficient. I mean, I'm talking about regular season. So at some point in this series, you would think that could happen, especially going back home.
Okay, so we just and this is one thing I've stood on for a while now. With this, I'm looking at our personnel. The personnel that we have, I don't believe Luka's going to have these efficient games. This is 3 games in a row, including the season, where Luka's been inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're watching him play, he's taking a lot of high volume 3-point shots, not really creating too much separation, getting past people. I'm talking about Westbrook. I'm talking about Paul George. I'm talking about Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann, Kawhi Leonard, all 6'5" to 6'8" wings. You're not faster than, you're not blowing past. So what is he doing other than taking high volume threes and taking them tough ass 2-point? What is he really doing different? He's not posting these guys up. He's not blowing past. So what is he really doing to really be this all dynamic scorer?
Nothing.
I mean, he got in the
No,
post.
man.
He got in the post a couple of times. He just missed the shots, and one of those possessions, James Harden fouled him and put him on the line.
You said James Harden. So who else? I didn't say James Harden. Terrence Mann, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Amir Coffey. Where are the plays of him just destroying these guys?
Now, I mean, I'm not saying destroying, but I mean, if you play, I mean, I just don't trust playing a one-on-one will be the best,
No,
especially leaving
but
it.
this is what I was saying. Not playing on. When I say play 1-on-1, of course you're gonna show the next line of defender, but I'm not gonna
Right.
fully commit and turn my back to my man so he can get a wide open spot up 3. I'm gonna stunt. So that's kind of like I'm flinching at you, like I'm about to show that if you want to put the, you know what I'm saying, come this way, I'm about to come over and help, but then I'm gonna recover. So it's like a soft hedge, not a hard hedge, but a soft hedge. You're just giving Lucas something to think about. Oh, if I drive right here, he might come over. So now it's like, do I do my step back? Do I do a crossover? Or do I get off the ball earlier than what I would like to? You know what I'm saying? So you just giving him something to think about. But in my opinion, even James Harden yesterday played solid D on him, bro, with the exception of that step back. I thought he should have closed the airspace. See, because Luka loves to create that a little bit of separation so he can get that jumper on. But you can't allow him. He's going to give you an Irk and jerk and then go under the legs and then plant and step back and then go the other way and then do another step back. That creates the separation. So all you got to do, let him do them moves. And then when he do a step back, just follow him. Close the airspace. Because he really don't jump when he shoot jump shots. It's like a set shot. It's all wrist action. You know what I'm saying? So I got to understand how to play him. James Harden did an excellent job yesterday, in my opinion, bro. And the Clippers were willingly saying, James Harden, okay, you want to switch on James Harden? Go ahead. James Harden gave you Oklahoma City defense. And I'm not mad at that. I appreciate James Harden for even doing that because we know that he haven't did that in fucking 15 years. So, I mean, but check this out. Look at him, some tough shots. But guess what? Can he sustain it? He shot terrible from the field. Again, 11 for 26, 4 for 13 from the 3. And you going to win a championship shooting like that? Are you out of your mind? No, you're not. He tired himself out doing all that shit. That's why they took him out the game late in the game and had to bring him back and let Kyrie cook. You know what I'm saying? So they got a dilemma on their hands. And the Clippers will take care of business. I promise you he will. They will.
They keep doubling this man, and I don't understand. I'm looking at I'm like, why are we doubling this dude? Like he just like they running up and simply when they don't have to. They don't even have to. They just run up and like he's just for what, and that's actually making it easy for him to give the ball up to other players. That's the problem. Yeah. We are doubling him, and that's making it easier for him. Ty Lue shit.
Facts. Ty Lue shit. Yeah, I agree. Norman Powell can't get no run in this series. I'm not hella high on Norman Powell, but I understand why people are. But Russell Westbrook got to play an extensive amount of minutes, bro. Him and Terrence Mann, because of their ability to put a lot of pressure on the opposing team's defense, bro. Offensively and defensively. You know Russell Westbrook going to push the ball on makes or misses. You know what I'm saying? And Russell Westbrook, when the playoffs come, bro, Russell Westbrook in the last couple of years have shot a pretty good percentage from the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? So you leave him open if you want to. Shit, I take my chances with Russell Westbrook shooting open threes than Derrick Jones Jr. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, he took a 3, he missed it, but most of his points came when he drove to the basket. He almost had a dunk going down the lane, but he lost it in the air and then rolled into the basket. But he's not a good 3-point shooter. Yeah, but BJ, somebody said in the comment section that if you got Plumlee on the court, you definitely have to show you definitely got to put 2 on the ball because Plumlee's not a good perimeter defender.
That's what I'm saying. That's when the shit went bad because who's going to expect Zubac to foul out within the first 3 minutes?
Yeah, so, that was a good strategy from Dallas though, putting them in foul trouble early.
Yeah, so it's like
did they put him in foul trouble or did they call some terrible calls? Let's keep it.
I mean, one terrible foul. One terrible foul.
Come on, man.
Hey, that bullshit. Hey, man.
BJ, the first one was a foul.
He's with me. Man. Hey, I'm kind of leaning with you with that conspiracy.
Soft ass motherfucker.
Nah, that first one. I mean, the second one was a terrible call, but that first one wasn't foul. I mean, I'll give you that.
I just don't see what is
that was the strategy to try to neutralize and make sure that Dallas stayed in the game the whole game. That's all that was, bro. The NBA be knowing what they be doing. The NBA knows damn well that the Dallas Mavericks can't fuck with no Clippers. Come on, man. Are we looking at the same game, you guys? Come on, man.
If we bring up conspiracies, then the Sixers got a lot to say too. But I mean, I just don't believe the conspiracy thing.
I mean, it's the NBA for you, bro. I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I guarantee you that shit don't happen next game, though. Promise you that.
Yeah, he would definitely be smarter than that. Yeah. But BJ, one last question. You think Daniel Tice deserved minutes in this series? Because I don't think so.
We don't need him.
Yeah.
We got everything we need. We just like what he said, is like the defenders, once you put the defenders out there, I mean, you cut Luka's water off, and Kyrie, like I said, Kyrie, I saw Paul George even shut him down in terms of in that game yesterday because of his length.
Yeah.
So it's like you got all the answers. I mean, I also don't understand when Ty Lue makes this shit harder when it got to be. Stop trying to mess with shit that only be messed with.
That's what I said. Salute, BJ. Salute, everybody, bro. I'm going to dip out.
Salute, God.
Yeah, salute, E.
Appreciate it.
Salute. All right, brother.
All right.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, man, thank y'all for coming in, man. Shout out to the Mavericks for a great game for them last night. They played very hard. My original pick is Eclipse in 5. I'm still sticking with that. I would not be surprised if it's 6 based on how, you know, some of the things that go on throughout the series and just happens. But I got the Clippers in 5. I do not have this in 7. Hell no. I expect Kawhi Leonard to come out more in sync. Paul George and them be in sync as well. I do think that Ty Lue needs to start looking at playing Westbrook, T-Man, and Coffee together, more defensive lineups. And I'm going to be honest with Norman Powell. That's my guy, but, you know, if his offense ain't going, you might have to sit him in the 4th because that game was lost really in the 4th quarter. We were up by 6 points. It wasn't like the first game when we played them and then they never led at all in the game. The Mavericks we actually led in this game with bad lineups, bad rotations, bad shooting, all types of shit. But that 4th quarter determined it. I think if we had more of a defensive lineup, we would have been able to pull that game out. But, you know, it's a series. It's a 7-game series. And when, you know, you live and you learn. All credit to the Dallas Mavericks. Respect to them. We'll see y'all in Dallas. I have a guest coming in next week that y'all probably will like. But until next time, respect to say pull up, see, pull up, check, pull up, peace. Out here like swim, wow.
I'm feeling good, feeling all right tonight. I'm feeling good now, yeah. It's all good in the neighborhood, homie. Yeah, little ride. I feel good, I feel alright. Cruising through my neighborhood on a warm summer night. I feel good, that's right. I feel good now. It's summer night. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. I just kicked it at home, I polished up the chrome, called the Ruka on the phone, let her know I'm home alone. It's 7:30 and the sun's going down. It's a summer night and the fun's going down. I pick her up and she looks all dolled up, sitting passenger in my rag and Paula. Yeah, I let her know that she looks beautiful to me. The world's an ugly place, but she is such a sight to see. The kind of woman that would put up a fight for me. The kind that wants to spend the summer nights with me. The temp was 80 and I'm cruising with my lady, playing some Rafi Bagan. Ooh, baby, baby. I see my homeboys and the cruising in the ride with their ladies sitting by their side. People think we look crazy, but I think we look classy. But then again, that's only if you ask me. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. My homeboys throwing the backyard boogie, so everybody gets together to unwind, relax, and have a fun time. The DJ spinning, so I grab the mic and be like, ain't nothing like them summer nights. The party's packed with beautiful women and a gang of the homies that wanna get with them. And they'll say anything just to hit them. And it's usually a nice summer night when they did them. I don't know, it must be something in the air. Can't help but have a good time because the feeling is there. To some people, the feeling is rare. They're at the past saying, God damn, I wish I was there. To have a drink, have a token, hook up with someone fine, but the kind that looks up. Gotta keep some pisto in the cup. Party until the sun comes up, but we give up. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Them summer nights can keep a smile on your face. Gotta try to have a good time with your life, otherwise it's just a waste. Either way, I'm gonna party just in case. Like Prince party like it was 99 and 87, 88. I couldn't ask for no better weather. I'm right next to the Pacific, to be specific. The candy paint job glows under the moonlight as I close out my summer night and say goodnight. It's time to put the top up and park it, drop it, unplug the ground, roll up the windows and lock it. Walk in the pad and fall into bed as she lays on my chest to rest her sleepy head. And we do this all night long, from dusk till dawn. But it's not quite the same when summer nights are gone. But even when they're gone, it won't be long. 8 more months and once again it's on. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down,